well to get all of the information out there. And so I am taking just another minute or so to finish setting up the rest of the live streams. So here we go. It is time to get started. For those of you who don't know me, my name is, one moment, oh my gosh. It is definitely, I'm in a slightly different time zone than everybody else here. However, for those who don't know me, my name is Donna Campbell, and I assist here with the Powerteam International calls virtually and live. And look, here is Mr. Michael Silvers, Executive Vice President of Powerteam. So everyone give him a great big round of applause. And Michael, would you like to share a few words?
Yeah, I just wanted to welcome everybody to the stream today. It's really great. I'm just letting my internet settle down, but it's just really great to have all of you on. It's going to be an exceptional show today. We're going to be running this through all of our streams. You're going to see us popping up online. If you can have your cameras on during the day, that's fantastic, so we can see you, and you can also really participate fully. You can ask questions all the way through. If you're in a place that, even if you're driving, hi there, even if you're driving, it's okay. We can see you at odd angles, but that way we get to know you. We get to know who you are. We've got a great show coming from Tampa. It's going to be all day long. Donna Campbell's going to be on with you. I'll be on with you too. She'll be on with you this whole first section. We've got people always here on the stream backing up. You can make comments in the chat. Keep the comments not about shamelessly promoting yourself, but truly what's going on with the person who's giving the information. You can ask questions. If you want to know more about Powerteam and what we do, you can always reach out to us. We'll be giving our information all through the day, and then you'll be having chances to win. Yes, to win gifts all through the day. We'll give you text opt-ins to do that, so be ready to do that. And I'll give it back to Don. Are you good to go?
I need just one more moment here to finish.
No worries. So
it takes just a minute.
Yeah, it's okay. This is where you really work as a team together. So what we're going to do is there's going to be obviously powerful speakers through the day. We're going to have education on really putting your business together, business strategies, business systems, everything from social media. Anybody need better social media or mobile funnel? Just ask about it, right? And this is the place you can ask questions all day. We'll have Mr. Bill Walsh on. He'll be really giving you just a ton of information that you can use right now in your business. Not something you're going to use a year from now or 6 months from now. It's something that you can actually use to implement strategies and structures within your business. I am Executive Vice President. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me, Donna too, and then we'll be giving you a couple text opt-ins as you hang with us through the day, because what's going to happen is there's going to be gifts. And the gift is a wonderful thing because you can use it for your business. There'll be a gift of a book. There'll be a gift of a system. And it's truly to help you move in the direction that you need your business to go. If all of you would like to actually, in the chat, without shamelessly promoting, just put your name, which comes up, and where you're actually dialing in from. So again, your name and where you're dialing in from, that would be fantastic. So here's mine, and I'm going to change my name on the panel. There we go. And it's always great to see where everybody's coming from, how many different areas they're coming from. And, as you think of, there's this group that there is sitting in the room live, listening, educating, and training. You're also part of that. So being part of that, if you can have your camera on, welcome from Atlanta, Georgia. Nice to have you on. Oh, Dallas, Texas. Dallas is in the house. Fantastic. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And Donna's up in Montana, and there's so many great places. Bill comes from Chicago, but you never know where he is in the world. He was just in LA.
But I am in Tampa.
Yeah, now he's in Tampa. That's right.
And we're just working on some technology down there to get you guys to your streams live as well, so we can all see everybody. So just you guys keep chatting, get started. We're ready to go.
You got it. You just tell us when. We're good to go. So it's really,
you guys can go. The room is ready here. We got a good group here. We're ready to go. So whenever you guys start, they can hear you already. I'm just trying to get better sound here.
All right. And we're good too, anytime you guys are ready. So it's just about that education and knowledge. It's about getting to know others, and it's really about networking. And the other thing too is that we have events where we actually network with each other with Powerteam. So we'll give you information on that later too. We have a weekly networking group. that meets virtually. And if you'd like to be part of that, put a 1 in the chat. If you'd like to be part of a weekly networking and mastermind group, put a 1 in the chat. The other thing too, and we'll give you information a little bit later on that. The other thing too is it's really great to be part of a breakfast, right? To be part of something that we can come together. So Powerteam has breakfasts where you can actually meet new people, network, mastermind a situation and issue something in your business. And that's a really important piece. So I'm going to give you 2 things, and we're going to post these later today for anybody who needs. This first, I'm posting it right now. Click on, it's in your chat. Oh, you guys are awesome. Double 11. This is the Powerteam Luncheon. So this is a place that you get to meet us. You get to meet Bill, myself, Donna, who's ever Austin doing the presentation, where we really talk about latest systems, what's happening, and then you get to meet other entrepreneurs in your region. So that's the first thing to click on. The next piece is what these are called the Powerteam. These are breakfasts, and the thing about this is about educating each other, working together. Here it's going to come right now. So grab this one too, and Donna can repost these later too. There we go. These are breakfasts. These are a place that we come together and we mastermind, we network. It's for entrepreneurs and small business owners. We provide, speaking and sharing opportunities, learning new success concepts, and really professionals a way to accentuate your brand, to learn from other people that are doing it now. And these are 2 ways you can work and come to be live with us. And the other way is on Thursdays, we have our amazing networking group called Speakers Theater. And it's really a place that you can network, get to know other people, and at the same time, join an amazing group of individuals called Rainmakers. A lot of them are on, who are really moving their businesses forward. They're using the latest systems and the latest technology and that link. So now you've got 3 things to do right away. We always want to make sure that you have something to keep you in motion. If everybody understands that, you always want to be in motion. It makes a big deal. So there you go. You guys are awesome. All right, I'm going to turn it, Donna. You good to go?
Yes, I am good to go. Absolutely.
I'm going to turn it back over to Donna. She's also going to explain the channels we're going to be going out to, and how when you participate in the chat, that you'll actually be sent out to worldwide. Over to Donna.
All right. Yes.
By the way, let me just do a quick. So Donna Campbell is an amazing speaker, author, trainer. She came from a background of working with people's money of over $500 million. She also worked in a healing community of 350,000 people. Rainmaker, a platinum speaker, and she's spoken all over the world. She went with Bill to London and many other places and does the Powerteam luncheons. So let's give it up for Donna Campbell, everybody.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. So we are broadcasting live. You guys are there live there in Tampa. We are live here on a Zoom channel. But what is extra special about all of this is we are broadcasting on 5 different streams. So not only are we on Facebook with all of the Powerteam channels, we are on LinkedIn, we are on Twitch. So it's sharing all of the information, and YouTube. So everything is going out to all the different channels. I see several of you watching on some of the live feeds over here. And so when you guys post a comment, even if it's sharing something of value from the speaker, make sure you put your name in the comment as well. Because what I am doing here on the other side is as I am sharing some of your comments onto the live streams. And when that happens and you put that information in there, we want to make sure we tie it back to you. Otherwise, it looks like I'm doing everybody's comment. So make sure you put your name in the comment section here on the Zoom, as well as you can see with someone in the very beginning when we asked where everybody was calling in from. You saw that we put our name in the chat and then our location, because then I can copy and share those into the live feed so everybody knows all of the valuable information with that. And while we are moving forward here, I do want to share just a couple of quick thoughts that I have with a about Powerteam, and about having some of the biggest breakthroughs. Over the last couple of years, I've been traveling with Bill Walsh, training, learning. I'm a Rainmaker graduate, alumni. I've been through Platinum Speaker. And one of the biggest tips that I can share with you that was a huge breakthrough for me in my own business was that you always have to add value in everything that you do. Not discount pricing. We're not Walmart. We're not Amazon. We're not competing on price with small business. We get to compete on value. And I always kept the last year, you got to add value, you got to add value, you got to keep adding value. And then finally, one day it clicked about what it was to add more value. You might give away some free gifts. You might give away some extra bonuses in your programs. You might offer it so that somebody can purchase and then gift it to 2 other people. And then you just keep adding more things to the information and to the package there for them to have access to, because what you want to do in the end is truly create raving fans and people that are part of a community that will always support you because you're always giving, because it's always about being of service first to others, and we're a service to them by adding value. So it took me a little bit, but I finally understood, because I came from an industry that everyone competed on a price point and time. And it's not about that anymore. And if you're going to compete on prices, if you're going to compete on time, it's just not going to be a benefit to you, because you're not going to win the long-term game. You always have to have value. And with everybody here, and with all of the different speakers and the lineups that we have coming, and even through Powerteam, you're going to see with each and every one of them how they add value, and that they're going to continually add value in everything that they are going to share with you. So you guys are in for a real treat. There's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of gifts given out, a lot of bonuses, and ways to connect with the various speakers so you can learn even more, because that's what we're here, and that's what we're here and all about here at Powerteam. And so providing value, I'm going to have to say, it was my biggest breakthrough over this last year of how to do that, and how to set up your programs, how to set up your client flow, how to set up your sales funnel to always be giving something, to always be providing that value. And I know, when you go through Rainmaker, it talks about your, getting your area of expertise and your empowerment and executing, and all of the things, all of those segments there are all designed about how to add more value into things. And even going through Platinum Speaker, the same thing as a speaker. How do you add value to more and more people in sharing your messages? So everything, and I'll just say my own quick little testimonial here is I wouldn't be where I'm at today without Powerteam, without Bill Walsh, without going through the programs that he has put out, knowing the different speakers that are out here, that are out speaking there in Tampa. I wish I was there with you. But having listened to them and heard them several different times, I know they've all learned the same things that I have there. And truly, I wouldn't, like I said, wouldn't be where I'm at in my own personal business, nor be able to have and share some of these tips and things with everyone as far as breakthroughs go. So there's a lot of different ways that you can add value. And one of the ways in adding that value is if you had a book. And if you had a book, even just a book cover, you can go out and share information and share what you're going to be putting out in your book that way. And you can start giving away copies of your book and share it out digitally. That was one of the ways that I started adding value, was in my programs. Everyone gets a copy of their book. And then also having the ability to have other products and other services within it, whether it's a digital product with a live class or that you get to bonus them, that if you're teaching something digitally, then they can come back live to you. And with all of the information and the people that you're going to be sharing with and the different speakers, they're going to all be sharing and showing with you how they have added that value into their life and into the lives of their clients and their customers. So, and when you listen and hear Mr. Bill Walsh, he's going to be doing the exact same thing. And I'm just going to say, all of you guys here are at the right time, at the right place to share and to have the information coming to you so you can keep doing that. And earlier you guys were listening to Michael Silvers, and he was talking about the different programs and things that we've had with Speakers Theater and getting connected with and getting connected into some of the different programs. So what we're going to be doing here, we're going to go ahead and move into our first speaker here. And so here he is. We're going to bring him up on the live Zoom stream here. And so Dr. Lee Schiffman, he's the co-founder of the Philadelphia Dentist. Philadelphia's most convenient dentist since 1992, because he's open at 7 a.m. 7 days a week. That's a lot of dentistry, I have to say there. So he does a lot of the same day emergency and general dentistry. He's the co-founder of the Unicorn Dentist and the 30-year small business experts and coaches. So he's unique, he's imaginative, it's coaching and speaking. So everyone, let's just go ahead and welcome Dr. Lee up here to the stage. All right, is he going to be? Okay, here, just a minute here. So is Dr. Lee ready?
We're going to start just in about 15 minutes. Are they good?
Yeah, I thought we were supposed to go. So I guess maybe we have 5 more minutes before Dr. Lee. There he is at the top. All right, we need to unmute the iPhone, please. All right, we're just switching the camera over so everyone can see Dr. Lee. And there's his slides. Perfect. And if you guys... We are getting feedback here. Okay, so with the iPhone turned off, we can't hear Dr. Lee. But if it's turned on,
try that.
Thank you.
Can you hear him now? Good.
Yeah, good. We're good.
Let's go.
Okay. I tell my patients to call me Dr. Lee, and it's easier to remember. Dr. Lee Schiffman. I also tell them types of dentists that you see in the movies or TV. They're either the mean, nasty ones or the nerdy. I'm one of the good ones, and I always get around dentist patient. Achieving consistent business growth. I have 2 businesses in the Philadelphia area. And by the way, congratulations, Phillies on the National League championship. Two businesses, the Philadelphia Dentist. I thought I was saying Philadelphia is my convenient dentist.
Okay, we
The
lost.
other business is a coaching business for small businesses, unicorn dentists, the 30-year business experts, unique, imaginative coaching and speaking. You may ask why do we call it unicorn? Because that's not the name of my dental practice. It's not because we're dentists that only treat unicorns. It's because we stand out in the crowd. We're one of a kind, innovative. People say they never experience something like what we do in dentistry. So with your permission, I would like to share some of my story with you. I have a quote that I live by since I was a kid, and that's Winston Churchill's quote, "Never give up." My key word in my life has been persistence. I am a child of the 50s and 60s. My dad was a disabled World War II veteran, and I have three brothers. So the four of us grew up lower middle class poor in Philadelphia suburbs in Pennsylvania. And at the age of 6, I started being an entrepreneur. And I would go door to door, finding things in the back of comic books, ads for seeds, light bulbs, greeting cards, magazines. And I would sell these door to door for cash business. Don't turn me into the IRS. I never found a return for those years. But at the age of 6, I started my entrepreneurship. I have 60 years of business experience. I did have a lot of trouble being a nerd and an overachiever and an A student in school because that made me the target of a lot of bullying and teasing from the other children. And now that I've moved forward in life, I found that nerds are good company to have because I think of the late Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, people like that, Elon Musk. They are known to be nerdy, but they've all been very successful in business and in life. My business partner is my son, Daniel. Daniel has an MBA. He went to Pennsylvania State University. So he brings a lot of sales experience, and he's been working with me in business for 20 years, in my dental business and now my coaching business. Now, at the age of 16, I did suffer a setback. My parents divorced, and my dad moved to another state, and I rarely saw him after that. So as little money as we had to start with, we had much less money. So besides going to school full time, I started my legitimate entrepreneurial business career with my high school girlfriend, who was my future wife. We opened a business with her father's assistance of electronic assembly for the space program. So we did subcontract work, putting together different things with transistors and resistors and capacitors, and no printed circuits, no chips. There were no chips back then. We were wires and soldering, and we supported ourselves through high school and college and dental school. I went to dental school at Tampa University in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and we, after dental school, we joined the Air Force and received additional specialty training in all phases of specialty dentistry, like root canals and extractions and wisdom teeth. And then I was put in charge of the U.S. Air Force Hospital dental clinic in Fort Worth, Texas. And as I tell my patients, we took care of millions, figuratively, millions of patients over the years. After we finished up with the Air Force, we developed a family, 3 grown children. Now we have 8 grandchildren. And we moved back to Philadelphia and saw a need for a business, dental business that is open 7 days a week and open 7 days a week and see same-day emergencies, high-quality care, personalized care. We'll get into that in a little bit more detail. But the big challenge that we saw in business, in small business, with our years of experience in business already, is how do you achieve consistent business growth? It's fine to grow your business, but if you plateau and then you want to continue to grow, you're not continuing to grow, then you start to go backwards. There's no holding at a fixed level. You're either evolving and changing, or you are going backwards. So there's a number of different items, a number of different keys that we've discovered over the years how to do this. That's all. Even for water break. A number of different keys. And the first I would say is coaching, mentors, and role models. You need to have people that have been there before and have experience. My first coach, as I briefly mentioned, was my wife's father-in-law. When my father left, my girlfriend, future wife, her father became my surrogate father. He was an electronics engineer in the space program. He set me up with a business. He didn't finance the business. He set me up to taught me how to do the business. And we were able to grow that business and run it for over 8 years to support ourselves while we were going through our training. So he was very important. That's why we were interested in getting into coaching, Daniel and I, mentors and role models. The next key is forming an abundance mindset. I mean, in opposition to versus a scarcity mindset. It's very easy, especially if you're struggling starting a business, to have a scarcity mindset and look for everything that could go wrong or is going wrong. You have to, if you're going to be successful in business, you have to develop an abundance mindset. The one word, we're going to go over a few different topics, but the one word that's I've lived my life by is persistence. So we're going to go over a few motivational quotes that I've used to keep myself going and to keep going positive. And one of the first things in persistence is you don't want to quit 3 feet from goal. So many businesses close up or sell out because they feel that they're not moving where they need to move and they give up. And you can't give up. On the side, and all the other things that I've done, I'm a marathon runner. So that's a mindset that you have to remember. 26 miles, nobody can run in one day. It's not possible. But you can run 1 mile 26 times. And that's the persistence, that's the endurance. Quotes that have kept me going over the years. Wayne Gretzky, you'll always miss 100% of the shots you don't take. When I see a patient or a client, I present everything to them. I don't decide what what they're going to be able to do or want to do. That's for them to decide. I will give them my best shot, so to speak. It's Lombardi. The only place success comes before work is in the dictionary. A lot of people work 9 to 5. I actually work 5 to 9, and I'm not talking about 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. 7 days a week, I'm up at 5 a.m. and I work till 9 p.m. I may even take a break somewhere in there, but I am constantly seeing what I can do to grow more. This one's a quote that my cross-country coach in high school, my distance coach, used to use with us all the time, and we applied it all the time, and that is, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. You recognize you're going through tough times, you're either going to give up or you're going to muscle through it, figure out what you need to do, and move forward. Billy Bear has a lot of good quotes and funny quotes, but this is a great one also. It's kind of like the one previous to this. It's not over until it's over. Vince Lombardi again. Winners never quit and quitters never win. All persistence type quotes, like Winston Churchill quote, never give up. Thomas Edison, probably the greatest inventor in American history. He would say, our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to success is to try it one more time. Said in many things, including the light bulb. In reference to the light bulb, he would say, and it did take him, I think, 10,000 different models until he actually was able to engineer the light bulb. He said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that don't work. Business, you find something that's not working, you evolve, you change. You get coaches, you get mentors, role models, you seek counsel. Another key is overcoming fear, and that's fear of failure, but also fear of success. I have found a lot of small business people actually have a fear of success. Their brother-in-law or their uncle saying, you're never going to make it, you're never going to make it, and they start to believe it. They're afraid, what's going to happen if they're successful? Are they going to be able to handle it? I've gone through that, and I will tell you that it's just as dangerous as fear of failure. Talking about fear, overcoming fear, this is from Dwight Eisenhower, often said, what counts is not necessarily the size of the dog in the fight, but the size of the fight in the dog. But some of my personal core values are here: faith, family, fitness, friends, and fun. And also being faithful to living a life of compassion, gratitude, and purpose. Now, a big item that I found with my training in the Air Force and then trying to establish a business when I came back to Philadelphia after I was done in the Air Force, was discovering your niche. Now, niche is your special skills in business. You could also call it your unique sales proposition. You're doing something in business that no one else is doing. You're being a unicorn. So to discover your niche, there's a couple things you need to do. One is you have to research what your skills are, what your strengths are, and also recognize what your weaknesses are. And the other thing is you have to research your market. When I came back to Philadelphia, I was shocked that there wasn't a single dentist in Philadelphia that was open 7 days a week. Now, that doesn't mean that one dentist has to work 7 days a week, but they had an office open 7 days a week. There was no such thing as a dental emergency room. One of our pets several times, get sick and needed emergency treatment on a Sunday night, we went to an emergency veterinary clinic. Found out that this was a 7-day-a-week emergency clinic staffed by numerous vets. Excuse me. And that model, that role model, I talked to the owner of the clinic, and that role model taught me to jump up ahead, to jump forward, and to develop what my goal was, which was the same day dental practice for emergency and specialty care. Now, I was very fortunate with my training in the Air Force that I was able not to have to refer out most of the dental treatment, but to do it in-house at my new practice. And we developed 5 core business values of the dental practice, the Philadelphia Dental. The number 1 core principle is convenience. You can imagine, you wake up with a toothache, Saturday night, 2 a.m., and you want to get in touch with somebody. You have to be able to find somebody to take care of you. We found out that not only in Philadelphia, but we couldn't find anybody in the whole United States that was open 7 days a week. So we focused on the convenience aspect. Compassion. You don't only want to be convenient. You want to be able to take care of people with a compassionate attitude. You don't want them to come in and just have a cold, poor bedside manner. You want them to be treated as a human being. And that's what we developed. We developed our team to do that. Comfort. Very important in dentistry. I think everybody would agree. You want comfort in dentistry. You don't want to be stuck with sharp instruments. You don't want pain. You don't want pain afterwards. So with our skills, we set up so that we could provide all that. And then confidence. You want the patient, the client, to feel that you are competent to do the treatment you're providing. And they can tell whether you're competent, because if you're not hurting them and the teeth don't fall out after you fix them, they know you're competent. And the most important thing for the sales part of the business is confidence. You have to project sterling confidence that you know what you're doing, confidence, and that you're confident that you can handle their situation. Lots of people are very nervous when they come to the dentist. And I have found that a gentle touch on the arm, you don't get back rubs, but a gentle touch on the arm and a calm voice, caring voice. I use like a neuro-linguistic approach, I call it. And that means different things to different people, but to me it means that you are using your voice and your touch. And I have to touch people when I'm doing dentistry, but it always is a very soft touch. I always tell them what I'm going to do before I do it. And I always tell them you have a signal. Lift your left hand. If you feel something bothering you, and I stop immediately and make sure you're comfortable. So those are our core values for the business. Thomas Peters, a business writer who wrote In Search of Excellence, he wrote Pursuit of Excellence, he wrote a lot of business-related books in the past 20 years or so, always said his formula for success was under-promise and over-deliver. A lot of people say that, so it's been quoted by a lot of different people. And then I really like this one from Steve Martin. I saw an interview with Steve Martin, and speaking about a niche, a unicorn, a specialness. He was asked, what advice would he give to a young actor who is looking for a career? What parties do they have to go to? What agents do they have to have? And his advice is none of that's important. The most important thing is not who you know, but you have to be so good that they can't ignore you. And you need a vision statement for your business. Vision statement is where do you want to go? The mission statement is putting down and writing how you're planning to get there. So let's talk about leadership and systems. CEO, I have found, I did mention that I work from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m., but I have found that being CEO does not mean being chief everything officer. It means being chief empowerment officer. You develop your systems, then you delegate and you measure. You don't stand over anybody's shoulder. You don't micromanage. You give them the goals and they move forward. A good friend of mine in Philadelphia nicknames himself Dr. Nacho. That's his Facebook group, Dr. Nacho. And he said, kind of like Bill Walsh says, it's a small thing, but it's a big thing. And he said everything important needs a system and everything is important. You have to develop your systems with your team. And you have to hire and train an excellent team. And we hire for personality and we train for skill. You don't go looking for somebody, oh, they have 5 years experience working in a dental office. I don't care about it. That's great, but I don't care about that. I care about, are you a good person? Are you a compassionate person? Do you like people? That's how you move forward with a team. And then you have to have effective marketing. Both internal marketing, which is basically everything that you're doing. Everything that you're doing is internal marketing. From the time the patient sees your ad, to the time that you move forward on their sales and their treatment and complete their treatment, it's all internal marketing. And then external marketing, we do local search. We rely heavily on Google Ads. And we, believe it or not, have a lot of phone calls every day, dozens of phone calls every day. And we pre-qualify the patients so they don't come in and waste their time coming in and finding out, oh, I have to pay for this, or oh, you don't take my insurance. We pre-qualify everything. We have, on average, 100 new pre-qualified leads every single month. So you can imagine how many phone calls we get when we have multiple times that phone call during the day. And every staff member is cross-trained. That they not only can work in the operating room, but they work answering the phone.
In 800 feet,
We don't
turn
have
right
a
onto
dedicated
Azura Road.
person on the phone. We have somebody that is moving from one task to another task. They're changing tasks. And then, of course, we do affiliate marketing, where we have marketing partners, emergency rooms, physicians, pharmacists, other dentists that are on vacation or don't have our kind of hours, and we move forward with them marketing and networking for us. So the question is asked, why do Daniel and I do what we do? And it's very simple. We've been given a lot in this country. We work hard, but we've been given a lot. We've given a lot by small business. We've given a lot by our clients and our patients. We are giving back. We are servicing our client and patients with excellent service. Then we're giving back to the future, to the paying it forward to the future small business people. And that's why we started the coaching, the Unicorn Dentist Success Program. Albert Einstein said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So So what is the Unicorn Success Program? Well, we have a number of different customized programs. But our main program right now is that we have a 12-week program that we customize, see what challenge, start off seeing what challenges that you have in your small business. And then we, Daniel and I together with you, come up with a plan of what we're going to do over the 12 weeks. What are your challenges? What do you need help with? What are the things maybe you don't even realize you need help with? We don't dictate. You have to cookie cutter the evolution of your business. We don't say, okay, these are the 3 steps that you need to do, 1, 2, 3, and do the same 3 steps with every client. So every client gets a personal instruction. You will also become part of our community group of over 800 and are able to participate with that and bounce ideas off the group. So that's a very important part. And we're also available for necessary emails, text messages, phone calls as needed during the program. There's a continuing program afterwards if you require that, but that's our initial stage of the program. We're also developing a mastermind. In the Philadelphia area, we're running a mastermind the 3rd Wednesday of every month, a mastermind breakfast, where we invite small business people to get together and bounce ideas off each other for an hour and a half. A continental breakfast. And it's in Center City, Philadelphia at the Pyramid Club, which is a beautiful location at the top of the 52nd floor building in Center City, Philadelphia. So what are some of the results you may get from the program? Well, number 1, we're going to work you hard. You may not have to work from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m., but you're going to have to put in the effort. We're going to give you homework to do based on what your needs are. And we expect you to work as hard as we are going to work for you. We pledge to work hard for you, and you have to pledge to work hard for yourself. You're going to see even more increase in your profits. You're going to see much less stress in your business. If you have a new business, you're going to be able to develop business plans, and you're going to move forward to even greater success. Jack Kerouac said, when you reach the top, keep on climbing. But we're not stopping. We're going to keep on moving forward. And so should you. If you felt that you reached the top and you don't need to go any further, you're fooling yourself. You can always gain and move ahead in your small business. Alexander Dumas, I didn't know he was a businessman, but apparently he was. He's a writer years ago. He said, nothing succeeds like success. So the question you have to ask yourself is this. Are you going to stay stuck in a rut, or are you willing to take a leap of faith and join us to increase your profit to the moon? And that quote's from William Daniel Schriftman. Not famous, I'm making it famous. So we're offering to you a get acquainted offer. You don't have to commit a nickel to this offer. The complimentary 30-minute consultation with us. You text unicorn, the word unicorn, 26786. Look at your cell phone. You can text unicorn to 26786. Fill out the intake form, and we will get in touch with you by email or text. Find out what your greatest challenges are. Find out what your business is. And set up a meeting, a virtual coffee, as I call it, virtual coffee chat, and see how we can move forward with you. I want to thank you all for your time. And if there's any questions, I will be in the back table in the room, or you can put it in the chat, and we'll see it in the chat. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Bill Wall, for having me.
All right, let's give a huge round of applause here to Dr. Lee Schriftman for all of the wisdom and insight that he has shared with everybody. And so for all of you out here on the live stream, I see there's several of you. We're also live on Zoom channels. We're all over Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch. Share the comments. I've been putting in there.
Doc, turn the mic off.
All right. And so what you want to do to connect with Dr. Lee Schriftman is to text the word unicorn to 26786. And if you're out there watching on the live stream, you will see that it is scrolling across the bottom of the Zoom channel there. So text unicorn to 26786 there to connect with Dr. Lee. And for those of you that are just jumping on and joining, you are watching Powerteam USA. We are live with our Success Summit in Tampa, Florida. So we have a room full of people. It's been great. It's been a lot of fun and a lot of showcasing of speakers. And so I have the distinct pleasure now to bring up our next speaker. And he has started his professional career at the age of 19 with IBM. He is known for creating effective systems and is known internationally for training sales forces to large to mid-sized companies in the financial tech and the crypto space. He has created, I gotta practice pronouncing this, ERC tree as a disruptive service in the complex tax credits and incentive spaces. So it is my pleasure to bring up Mr. Ben O'Quigley, founder of ERC. You're going to have to help me with this. Here, I'm going to get it down. Incorporated. Let's welcome him. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I sit over here, sit right there.
Okay.
Right there.
All right. Well, I hope everybody's having a great Monday. I got into beautiful Tampa about 1 a.m. last night. Been on the road since Labor Day. Been home only about 5 days since September 3rd. Bill's got me busy, and then the company ERC Tree. ERC Tree came to me as an idea a couple months ago only. I was introduced to this space that I've never even heard of before called tax credits and incentives. How many people have even heard the words tax credits together? It's kind of like an oxymoron, right? There's a whole huge division with the IRS, and it's only been for large corporations. They've been taking advantage of tax credits that small and mid-sized employers have never gotten advantage of, and we never do as small business owners. And I figured out a few things after going through and learning about this space. And I'm going to explain this today real quickly and very, very easily. So how many people watching or here in the audience would like to pay less taxes? Okay, a few people, it's everyone, right? Well, if you're a small business owner, would you like to get all the payroll taxes you paid last year refunded to you by the government? You get W-2 employees who paid in payroll taxes, and that includes 501c3 nonprofit organizations. They pay business taxes. They don't pay the business taxes the for-profit does, but they still pay in payroll taxes. And large corporations have been getting this for decades, quarterly, annually. They get tax credits, refunds from the government, and that's something that they work on. Well, we all heard about this thing called the pandemic not too long ago. And when the pandemic officially hit in March of 2020, the government came out with what was called the CARES Act. And the CARES Act put $2.2 trillion out there to help individuals and businesses make it through that challenging time. Well, many of you, if you have a small business, you obtain a PPP loan. It's funny, I just got back from Bank of America this morning and had to run over there to take care of a few things. And, the banks did a great job marketing what was a loan through the banks and SBA, and to obtain forgiveness, you had to submit a certain 508 form. If you didn't know that, maybe your bookkeeper or someone did that, your local accountant. But you had to use the money that you got for PPP, whether it was a 1 or PPP 2 as well, for payroll or business expenses to get forgiveness. Well, they put $400 billion in there, and you know that the money dried up pretty darn quick. Well, there was another program for small businesses that nobody knows about for the most part, and they put $400 billion in that, called the Employee Retention Tax Credit. It's for small businesses under 500 employees. It's been amended 3 times in guidelines, because initially it said back in March of 2020, if you obtain a PPP loan, you cannot also file and get your payroll retention tax credit refunded. That was the guideline. So they locked it out where over 90% of the businesses in America could not even file for the employee retention tax credit. And what it is literally for keeping people employed. Because otherwise, unemployment, now they got to go get unemployment benefits. And one way or another, the government felt that they were going to have to take care of people. So anybody that kept as many employees working during the pandemic in 2020 and 21, great job. That's awesome. If any of you guys are business owners with one W-2 full-time employee, it's not the employer and employee tax refund, it's the employee. So anybody you pay payroll taxes on, full and part-time are calculated. But what happens is one employee could be up to $26,000 refund. And what happened was I was introduced to the space. I used to be in the mortgage space. I grew from a little loan officer. I started at IBM at age 19. I had a full ride scholarship, and I dropped out back in 1995 as a baseball player. And I saw this commercial. I don't know if you guys ever seen it. The Bride Institute Technology, hands-on learning. This thing called the computer internet. Really not a classroom guy.
You're fine. Keep going.
I'm not really a classroom book guy. I'm more of a kinetic learner. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go learn about this thing called the internet. And the internet and this thing called computers. And I dropped out. Everyone thought I was crazy, leaving a full ride education. They go, what are you talking about, internet? And it's important here because it leads to where we're at now with ERC Tree, the efficiency and everything that's going on. And I found my first gift. I create algorithms, systems, very, very efficient systems. And I had a Wolf of Wall Street moment. If anyone's ever seen that, I had a buddy after being at IBM for a number of years. He was doing very, very well in the mortgage space. We're about 24 years old, both of us. Very good looking gentleman. I like to joke and say he was dumber than a box of rocks, but he was killing it in mortgages. And I said, show me a check and I'll quit now. And I literally showed me a check for $25,000 he made. And I said, that's it. I quit IBM, got in the mortgage space, and did very, very well with builders before builders now have their own mortgage companies. Back then they had preferred lenders. And so the employee retention space, I got it right away 6 months ago when I was introduced because it's very, very similar to applying for a loan to get the tax credits. However, there's documents, your 941s and your payroll that you put in for your PPP loan. We also get that. We also get your PPP docs if you got forgiveness or if not. Either way, we get your PPP docs. There's a certain calculation that needs to be done properly in amending the 941. If you have group health benefits, we get those group health statements. Obviously, for under 50 employees, you're not required to have group benefits. But if you do have it, or if you're a larger company, up to 500 employees, we get those statements. And what I've done now, because I was going through what I call a pop-up firm or a mill, even Forbes talks about it. There's hundreds of now companies marketing ERC using the quality of an H&R Block tax preparer. Nothing against an H&R Block person, but they're not specialized in the tax credit incentive space. So the firm that I was introduced to, they were taking months to process and even give a quote. And they were charging extremely high fees, 30% fee to anyone that they were filing. And I was submitting family and friends to start, physicians, and what industries, okay? Anybody in the automotive or home services space, retail of anything, you all qualify. Restaurants, okay? And there's 3 categories you're going to qualify. I'm going to explain that in a second. The thing is that your local accountants out there are disqualifying you incorrectly all the time. And if you've never heard about the employee retention credit, and you have an accountant that you have help you with some bookkeeping, maybe some quarterly or annually stuff, the reason why they haven't told you about it, they don't do tax credit incentive filing. There's a reason, and they should not be. And I am going to give a couple examples when I finish up here real quick. So, first off, if your local accountant has told you that you do not qualify for the employee retention tax credits, there's a very high chance that if it said it a year or 2 ago, you probably didn't because of the guidelines. But the guidelines have changed, and now you do qualify. 99% of the businesses that are under 500 employees in the United States qualify for a refund of the payroll taxes you paid in quarters of 2020 and 2021. If you started your business after February 15th, 2020, you're starting a business, there's no guidelines other than you started it, and you can get up to $50,000 per quarter, but you have to have W-2 employees, at least one. And we are the only company that I know of out there that will get one employee W-2 company their maximum, which could be $26,000. So, guidelines. This is the real big notes on this. There's 3 categories. Category number 1 is called a revenue drop. If you had a 50% revenue drop in, say, Q2 of 2020 compared to Q2 of 2019, which is a huge drop in 2020 compared to 2019, you would qualify for that quarter. So, also 2021, you in 20%, you qualify. You only need one thing per quarter. But what if you made more money in 2020 or 2021 than you ever did in 2019 or any time as a business? Making more money during the pandemic is not a disqualifier. That's the first thing that a lot of accountants are telling people. Oh, you made too much money. No, you could have made more money than you ever have before during the pandemic, and does not disqualify you. We have businesses every single day that get qualified by our firms with the next 2 categories. So you had no revenue drop. You made more money than you ever have in 2020 and 21. All right. So category number 2, mandates, state, federal, and local mandates prohibiting you from being able to do business as normal. So I became an orthopedic rep after the mortgage crash, and guess what? There was no PPP or ERC for us back in 2007 and 8. Anybody get hurt by that? Yeah. I mean, I got crushed. And my boys were born in 2006 and 8. They're 14 and 16 now. And I was like, I got to get something stable because we know what happened. And I said, I'm going to do medical sales. And I started interviewing at all the big companies, or Medlines, Cardinal Health, Stryker, Zimmer, J&J. And I knew that the resume, they said you need to have a bachelor's degree. Well, I didn't have one. I dropped out of college, remember? And I was like, I'm going to interview you through this. I would always there's usually a 3-part process there. And I get to the 3rd interview and say, hey, so it's vague on education. So I did go back and go take some classes like business law, some accounting. I did. As an entrepreneur, I believe in education. And anyways, they said, you got to have a bachelor's. You got to have a bachelor's. So I took a 1099 medical sales job and pretty much wiped everyone. Stryker, Zimmer. I went orthopedics. I've been in thousands of surgery as an orthopedic rep. Very, very successful. Did very well, but guess what? Work-life balance wasn't there. And so mandates. The reason why is physicians, all the time, physicians or chiropractors, dentists, everybody that was deemed essential. Being deemed essential does not disqualify you for your employee retention credits either. What it is was there a nominal impact of you being able to perform your services as normal? Just a 10%. So I have positions, we have hospitals that are getting employee retention tax credits. Okay, they were deemed essential, obviously. Urgent cares, Why? They had to change things, and it was a 10% reduction of way they were able to, positions, maybe 5 rooms going at a time. They only had 1 room now, things like that. The automotive space, okay? Just the fact, every single car dealership, I'm not saying a used car one on this factor, but every single car dealership, just the fact that they had less cars on the lot, it's provable. From 2020 and 21 compared to 2019 or earlier, they qualify for all the quarters. Anybody that knows any car dealerships, they all qualify. They just don't know about it. Or there's the next thing. It's called supply chain and vendor. How many people are still experiencing supply chain and vendor stuff out there? Okay, so I just was watching the news, which I don't really watch often anymore, but they're talking about Halloween and the costume backdoor still going on. Okay, they're getting things not in the timeline that they used to. So again, revenue drop is not a disqualifier. You could make more money than ever, but if you had revenue drops of 50 or 20% in 2020 or 21 compared to 2019, now you qualify. Let's say you never had a revenue drop. Now we go on to mandates. And the tax attorneys and CPAs of the firms, ERC Tree. Anyone ever hear of Lending Tree? Okay, great company. I used to buy a lot of leads from them. I know my vice president of sales over here, Sean, did as well. And what's going on with ERC Tree is I spent months researching and trying to find who's the best firms that do tax credit incentive filings out there. Because my family and friends are an extension now. You are all now family and friends of mine, and bills and things like that, where I found the best ones. We have 5 firms that we contracted with. We do not inflate the prices or anything. ERC Tree has one universal application that all the firms accept. You have one secure portal that you upload your documents, your 941s, your payroll, your P&Ls, your group health, and your PPP docs. Okay, upload it. We submit one clean, secure Google Drive to multiple firms. Takes a couple days only. We get the quotes back, and the fees could be anywhere from down to a 1% fee up to a 20% fee. All the firms have their own pricing. I head to Austin tomorrow. Get to meet with Brian Pearson of American Incentive Advisors. He is a tax attorney that literally 30 years ago, there was a program that was started in the United States that's now in Australia, United Kingdom, and Canada. It's called the Research and Development Tax Credits. Some of you out there watching, if you're in the manufacturing space, you might be filing for your research and development tax credits. What was going on 25, 30 years ago is manufacturers were leaving for Asia and Mexico for cheaper labor. And they came up with the research and development tax credits. Well, Brian was put on the team at the chief general counsel level of the IRS to literally start writing the tax credit codes that are now used today. And there's energy tax credit codes. Guys, there's actually 50 different tax credit incentive programs for individuals and businesses that I had never even heard of. And I'm sure that you probably haven't either. Programs and so on, but they're not really good at educating us about it. You gotta go yourself. And your local accountant, they do not do tax credit filing, so they're not telling you about these other tax credit incentive programs. ERC Tree is going to keep bringing out more and more as we grow as a company. And so here's the thing. As a small business owner, it's harder than ever to find good employees, to keep good employees, inflation, the supply chain. So anybody in home services, whether it's plumbing or roofing or drywall, it doesn't matter. You qualify because there was a back order. Okay, there still is back orders. Anything automotive, also supply chain, couldn't get the parts to fix things. So anybody in the trucking industry, if you had a nominal impact where things used to take a few days, maybe a week to get, and it took weeks or months, anything in the furniture space, okay, all these things. And people that are property management companies, where people left businesses. Oh, and if your business is not shut, if you shut your business down, you tried making it, there's a restaurant or any type of business during the pandemic, you tried going, as long as you have not closed your EIN out with the state, we can go get your employee retention tax credits. And let's just say you had 10 employees, you tried to keep going, you had to shut the doors. Do you understand that you're probably going to qualify for anywhere between $200,000 to $250,000 in tax credits? And unlike PPP, as the business owner, You get to do what you want with this money. It is a tax credit to you. I joke about this. You can go buy a boat. You can put it on red in Vegas. You can pay for your kids' college education. You can do whatever you want with it. It's your money, okay? Unlike PPP, where they made you use it for payroll and for business expenses. So it's a refund to you as the business owner. It is a complete tax credit to you. The firms that I've identified specialize. They only do tax credit incentive filings for Fortune 500 companies, guys. One of the firms, the one that's down in Austin, a little company called McDonald's outsources their research and development tax credits. Large corporations, that's who they service. And the CPAs and tax attorneys at these specialized firms that you now have access to, they all started out in Deloitte, Pricewaterhouse, KPMG, but they wanted to go and learn more. And I'll end on this. If you've ever gone to your private practicing physician, right? Maybe your knees hurt. Something's not going right with your heart, your head, your skin, your eyes. What does your general practicing physician do? Run some tests, but they refer you to a specialist. Your local accountant should not, unless they've gone through additional education to really understand the tax credit codes that are out there. It's kind of like a medical biller, an experienced one, medically bills the insurance properly and maximizes it for practice, the hospital, whatever. Someone newer or novice, they're not going to put the right coding in and it's going to be billed out less. Having the proper tax attorney underwrite and file on your behalf. All the firms also offer audit defense, and somehow out there it's all scary. Oh, the IRS is going to come after me and all this stuff. No. Okay. One, the firms that are contracted with the ERC tree, the IRS already knows they specialize. They've been filing tax credit filings for decades. That was a minimum requirement. They had been around for 10 years plus doing tax credit filings. And they're going to be around for 10 years longer. You go online, if you file through, and I'm not going to say the names right now today, we are making a comparison sheet of ERC tree firms compared to some of the other big ones that are marketing out there. They don't offer audit defense. They're charging you an application up front. If you're paying up front to get a quote, you're with the wrong firm right there. You should not be paying up front to get a quote. Okay, if you're going to get a loan, a mortgage loan, do you pay up front to get the mortgage loan? No. Okay, and insurance quotes, you don't pay before you get the quote. There's some awful things going out there. Our service is completely free to you. We don't make any money unless the firm gets paid. And they'll file for you with no money out of pocket. Literally, they'll maximize it. They'll file for you. Anybody that's right around under $500,000, so say you're 10, 15, 20 employees, you're going to get your checks in about 60 to 90 days. So if you have 20 employees, and let's just say that you're a restaurant, and everyone's W-2ing around $20,000 or $25,000 a year, you're probably going to get about $350,000 in tax credits, and you'll get that in about 60 or 90 days. If you are a car dealership, 40 employees, everyone's paid pretty well, and that includes the mechanics and everyone that's W-2, you're probably going to get about $1 million. And it's going to take anywhere between 4 to 6 months. That's with the IRS. And we're able to track this as well through ERC Tree. The firms track it because the checks still go to you, okay, as the business owner. And then you pay the firms once the checks come in. So literally, you're maximizing the tax credits due to you, you're protected, and you're getting multiple quotes. They even specialize. They'll look at the same documents because the guidelines have so much objectivity to it. And they cross their T's and dot their I's. If we're going with the supply chain, we need the name of the product, who the vendor was, and what the change was. And we can get letters from all the vendors out there. I mean, I was just in Southern Cal. There's still a massive amount of boats sitting out there waiting to get in the ports. It's happening, okay? If it's mandates, we can identify all the different states and all the different counties and what the mandates were, when things were lifted. So we're here in Florida. Well, the mandates lifted a little sooner than in California. So we may or may not be able to go that route, or the firms. But what you have here, nobody else is doing this. If you wanted to go to these 5 firms, you would have to find them yourself, okay? And you would have to submit 5 different applications and submit your documents in 5, to all 5 places to get the quotes. We make it as easy as possible, your family and friends. They're going to maximize it, no money out of pocket, and when it goes further, I tell everyone, if you had one or more W-2 employees, non-family, that's another guideline of the IRS. It's not the employer-employee. So it cannot be a spouse, son, daughter, any direct family members of a 50% or greater owner. Anybody that's 50% or greater owner. Anybody that's under 50% ownership, the guidelines not the same. But you cannot qualify for the tax credit if your wife works for you or son or daughter, okay, for example. But yeah, we, some examples here. So recently we had a bakery in San Francisco, 120 employees. Their local accountant filed their ERC 3 months ago for them. Got them $300,000, 120 employees. So if you had under 100 employees, you get 2020 and 21, okay? It's $5,000 per employee for 2020. If you're over 100 employees, you only get 2021, which is $21,000 per employee. So, but if you're under 100 employees, you get up to $26,000 per employee, and the firms are going to calculate that properly to the max. They're not worried about an audit because when they file for you, they know if there's any questions, they're going to show. So you don't have to worry about that. Don't get all scared. Oh, they're going to audit us and stuff. And it's built in. You're protected. If you know business owners, we have an affiliate referral program. You can text right now, go to your phones, whip it out, 26786. Text to 26786 ERC. E as in Edward, employee retention credits. Okay? Text that, and that'll get you in the system. We have the most robust affiliate referral program out there too. And guess who it started out as accountants. I have accounting firms across the country that refer because they know that that's not their wheelhouse. Stay in their lane. The firms that we refer to, they're never going to do quarterly annual filings or bookkeeping. That's not what they do. That's not their jam. They're going to keep doing research and development and energy tax credit filings for their large clients for decades to come. They're not going anywhere either. The pop-up firms that are out there that just popped up, they're gone in 2 years, guys. We have a year and a half left to obtain your employee retention credits. And if you're waiting to see other people get the checks are coming out, okay? So under $500,000, you'll get in about 60 or 90 days. $500,000 to $1 million, it's taking about 4 to 6 months. Once we get up there into the $1 million plus, it's taking sometimes 6 months, sometimes 9 months. The IRS is getting it kind of caught up. The bigger it is, for some reason, the IRS takes longer. We also do have credit advance funding for business owners that really need the money now. It's kind of like a soft hard money loan. We have hedge funds that will purchase the employee retention credit. It takes a couple weeks to go through that. But let's just say you're getting $1 million and you need the money now, and you chose a firm with a 15% no money out of pocket filing. So that is $150,000 that's paid later, and that's standard. The industry's anywhere between 10 to 20%. If you're paying a fee that's 25 or 30%, you better be under 5 employees. If you're not under 5 employees, you're paying anything over 20%. You are, again, the wrong firm for your ERC. Also, ADP, Paychecks, great companies. They are not tax credit and incentive filing companies. They are offering, ERC filings. They're only looking at the 941s and payroll. It's so awful. It's so awful. They're not doing a service to their clients. They don't ask for the proper PPP docs. They might have some of them. They don't even ask for group health. If you filed for your ERC and you have group health benefits and you didn't supply your statements, you lost out on hundreds of thousands of dollars, most likely, okay, in employee retention credits. Because again, the tax attorneys we have, they know that. And also the P&Ls. And P&Ls, really, 2020, 50% revenue drops a lot. But 2021, 20% is a lot of people affected in that, okay? So the biggest thing is, if you had W-2 employees during the pandemic, the tax credit's here for you. It's the largest tax credit refund to small businesses and mid-sized companies in U.S. history. I don't know if it'll ever happen again, okay? Large corporations get this every year, quarterly, and I've learned that whole game, and we're not going to spend any time on it, but we're not getting it as small business owners. This is that golden opportunity, and Don't take the money and buy a boat. There's investment opportunities to go compound this. And again, if you are someone that has a database of small business owners, you need to text 26786 ERC, and we will get you in the system. And you know, the referrals we all get compensated very well for bringing clients into ERC Tree and out. I pay out 80% of the revenue. We pay up to 20% of the fee. So $1 million, let's just say the highest fee, which could be a 20%, no money out of pocket. That's only with one firm. And I think they're going to have to come down because we do have a Berkshire Hathaway owned company that is one of our partners for referring. They're amazing. And they're at 10 and 15%. So you can pay up front one time. You can pay 10%. So if there's $1 million, you get 40 employees, you know, that you net 900,000. Or if you don't want to put 100,000 down, guess what? You can just file at the 15%, and you're basically financed. You'll net $850,000. Tax credit. It's like winning a scratch-off ticket. Okay, it's your money to do what you want, and ERC Tree is something that came to me because of my family and friends, and you guys now by extension are family and friends of us, and we're free. That's the thing. Our service is free. It's just streamlining it. I don't get paid until the firms get paid, and you know, it takes a little bit, but guess what? Does everyone need money in 3 months from now? Yeah, okay. Everybody need money in 6 months from now. You go find a business with 300 employees, and we're getting $7-8 million. Okay, your commission on that on an $8 million deal. Okay, you're going to make about $160,000 to $120,000. Okay, and they're out there. There's so many companies out there that are bigger companies, 100 to 500 employees that still haven't filed their ERC. They're skeptical. They're getting misinformation. They're being told they don't qualify. The cannabis space is another space where started with one client where the accountant said, you do not qualify because they don't get anything from the federal government. They could not get PPP. And I said, no, you do. I got a tax attorney on the phone with the CEO of a company in Northern California. And he said, absolutely, you qualify because they pay payroll taxes just like any other business. And we got him $2.6 million. Well, that went off. That's going off like wildfire in the cannabis space, where we have, I would say, close to 100 now, all types of cannabis-based businesses that are now getting their ERC. And so these are the things I want you to understand. You qualify. And why not get attached? It's not like, oh, a handout or that. No, you suffered. Come on. You know, why wouldn't you want to get that? And we can help you do this efficiently. And then after who's become my best referral partners? It's the business owners we filed the ERC through the firms with. They are my best referral partners because they know another business owner. They know another one. So are there any questions anybody have regarding that? You know, pretty much covered the gamut. So at the end of the day, myself and Sean, and we have others, if you have a client that has questions, and we're making new videos for the website, erctree.com has the frequently asked questions. And I mean, Senator Grassley talks about how businesses just don't, small business owners don't understand the tax credit incentives that are available to you because your local accountant doesn't specialize in that, okay? If you go to your general practicing physician and they're putting in a total knee or heart surgery or brain surgery, that's pretty amazing. You know, you should not be using your general practicing physician for that. Local accountants stay in their lane, become a referral partner, help your small business owners obtain this money. Anybody that's a financial planner or anybody in that space, help your clients, or small business owners, and obtain their employee retention credits, and then put money into investment vehicles to help them grow it properly. That's what we're talking about here. Compound the money. Let's make sure there's probably going to be another pandemic. And the tax credit codes, actually, there's certain codes that were written many years, decades ago. They've been planning for a pandemic forever, guys. They have. That's what I've learned so much from the tax attorneys we have access now to. And they're amazing men and women, and they're going to take care of you. And ERC Tree, our job is just efficiency, streamlining. And we have influencers. I was just at Mike Tyson's house 2 nights ago. We have other major influencers that are now starting to get involved. They own restaurants. They didn't know this was available to them. Okay.
All right, Ben, this is Donna here on the live stream. We have a couple of questions for you.
Oh, great.
One, how do we get the affiliate link? And the second one is, what about nonprofits?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, whoever asked about the nonprofits, because this is huge. Oh, we're going to get this out. Okay. First off, at the bottom of every page of erctree.com, okay, there's a couple quick links. We have a whole back office being built, and everyone's going to get automated links and all these other functionalities coming. That's one of the reasons why I'm with Bill, okay? It didn't take me much at Orlando's Rainmaker event. I'm like, I'm in. Let's go. And so if you do go there, what you do, if you do not have Bill's information, you can email, okay, support@ERCtree. Make sure that you let us know that you're part of Powerteam International, okay? And we're gonna run it through there, okay, as an organization. So we'll get you set up as an affiliate. Now, let's say you have someone you want to refer, okay? We pay out up to 20%. There's levels. Because we are not an accounting firm underwriting it, we are not restricted to the same guidelines. All the firms that are out there underwriting ERC, they only can have 2 levels. They cannot have multiple. You can grow with this. Nonprofits. I have nonprofits we're filing almost every day. We want to help them all. Every 501c3. Private schools. We have colleges, private colleges, and universities. And guess what? Once we get you filed, we make it a fundraiser. So any business owner you refer through, we make you an affiliate as a nonprofit. You have a database. We're getting you some new materials that you'll be able to send out. And anybody that comes through and files their ERC, we're going to give you a 10% donation to your nonprofit. And again, so out of every $1 million, whether it's 10 businesses of 4 employees, 4 businesses of 10, 2 of 20, 1 of 40. When you get around that 40 employee range, 40 to 50, it's gonna be about $1 million. Depending on the fee, 10, 15, or 20%, you're gonna get 10% of that. So if it's a 20% fee out of $1 million, that's 20 grand, 15 grand, 10 is 10. And if people pay up front, the 10%, we have it happen every week. You get paid right away, okay? None of us get paid until the firm gets paid. Okay, great questions.
All right, yes, and everyone give Ben a huge round of applause. And I'm going to tell you, everything that he shared with you is 100% true and accurate, because I recently went through this whole process myself here with ERC. And one of the questions in the chat was, what if you're a single owner? You're the only employee. That's me. Guess what? My checks are coming in the mail. So definitely every single person text ERC to 26786. And Ben will get back in touch with you for all the rest of your questions, getting you the support for the nonprofits and also the affiliate links that you're asking for.
Any of you guys that have a business you want to refer, you have questions, start by emailing support@ERCtree. Okay, and then text 26786.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then just so you know, we have people that do 3-way calls with you in Zooms. Okay, you don't have to explain this. We have experts with ERCtree that will help explain you, learn as we go, okay? So that's just so you know. I want you guys to know that. Don't feel pressure there. Just help your thing. I'll end on this is important. The flight here, an executive of a financial planning company. They specialize with private practicing physicians. They got about 175 CFPs, certified financial planners, and about 14,000 clients. And anyways, here's the thing. We're going to help them generate about $2 billion in ERC for their clients. And now they're going to put that money into their investment portfolio. We just help that financial planning firm. They're going to generate $2 extra billion to invest, if that makes sense too. All right. So just hit us up and
yes.
Thank you for your time.
Yes. Thank you everybody for that. So go ahead and just email support@erctree.com. or text 26786, the word ERC. And we are getting ready here to bring up our next speaker. So Dr. Tracy Gappin is a board-certified urologist. He is a world-renowned men's health and performance expert. and the founder of the Gapin Institute, the global leader in high performance health. And he has over 20 years of experience focused on providing executives, entrepreneurs, and athletes a personalized path to optimize their health and fulfill their highest potential. He is the founder and CEO of the Gapin Institute for the High Performance Health. He's a best-selling author of Male 2.0 and Codes of Longevity. He is a member of the American Academy of Anti-Aging, Age Management Medical Group, and International Peptide Society. And he is the creator of the proprietary G1 program for high performance health. So everybody here, let's do a huge round of applause and a huge welcome for Dr. Tracy Gapin.
Let's make this honey small. Good.
Thank you, Donna.
You
Y'all hear me okay? You good?
I stay in the chair.
I'll stand back here.
How do you
I'm gonna stand it, that's okay.
stands fine? How do we make this smaller?
How are you today, everyone? Welcome on Zoom. Everyone here, welcome. I want to thank Donna for such a kind introduction.
How do you make this so you have a PowerPoint? Make a PowerPoint.
That.
Perfect.
All right. How's that? We good?
Looks great.
All right. Perfect. Thank you, Bill Ross. Thank you, Powerteam. I'm so excited to be here with you today. So first of all, how many of you think that your health is important? On the Zoom, type 1 in your chat if you think that your health is important.
State it.
Next, who thinks your health may actually influence every single aspect of your life? Type 2 in the chat. Absolutely. So ask yourself, if you know how important your health is, and you know how it affects so much of your life, why don't we make it a priority? That's what we're going to talk about today. My name is Dr. Tracy Gapin. People call me Doc Tracy. I'm going to share with you today the 3 critical drivers to achieve high performance in every area of your life. But before I get started, I want to share with you a little bit of why the heck is a medical doctor talking to you here today. So I spent 20 plus years as a surgeon, operating, saving lives every day, while neglecting my own health. I was so caught up in my career, so busy taking care of my patients, that I lost sight of what was important. How many of you here today can relate to that lifestyle where you neglect yourself for the sake of your career, for your business? Type 3 in the chat if you can relate to that, of not making your health your priority. Well, I was guilty of that as well, and it caught up with me. I woke up one day and I found myself 30 pounds overweight. I had no energy, no focus, no drive. I didn't like who I'd become. I was stressed out. And I had to admit, it was all my own fault, because I neglected myself. So I went to a doctor. I went to a colleague to turn things around. And guess what? I found that our healthcare system's not made for that. Because we don't have healthcare. We have disease care. We have crisis care. What do I mean? I mean that we are only focused on getting you back to neutral. We're focused on treating symptoms, treating disease, typically with pharmaceuticals, just to get you back to some crummy baseline, some crummy neutral. We're doing nothing to optimize you, to give you the energy, the focus, the drive to live your best life. Well, I knew there had to be more. And so while still running a busy medical practice, I went back to school. And I studied epigenetics, the science of how our environment, our lifestyle, our behaviors influence genetic expression. I learned about functional medicine, regenerative medicine, peptides, anti-aging, all these amazing emerging scientific advances we're seeing. And I realized that we have it all wrong. What we need to do is focus on what I call high performance health. It's all about optimization. When are we going to quit settling for neutral? Quit settling for just being okay or free of symptoms, free of disease. And that's what high performance health is all about. And so I applied this concept on myself. And guess what? I lost weight. But more specifically, I burned fat, built muscle. I regained my energy, my focus, my confidence. I felt alive again. I felt like a man. It completely changed my life when I shifted my perspective on health and was no longer satisfied with just being okay or neutral. I started sharing this approach with my patients in my surgical practice. And guess what? They had the same amazing transformation that I had. They told me how they felt alive again. And I knew that I had found my purpose and my passion in life. And so I made a very bold and courageous move. And I stepped away from my very lucrative surgical practice so that I can have a bigger impact. I published 2 best-selling books, Male 2.0 and Codes of Longevity. Who here would like a free copy of Male 2.0 today? Absolutely. Here's an opt-in. I want you to text the word help to 26786. Again, text the word help to 26786. I'm going to share with you 10 secrets to high performance health and a free digital copy of Male 2.0. And the very first person who opts in today, I'll mail you a copy of the book as well. I'll pull that contact here. 904-361-1986. Whoever that is. There you go. I'm going to get you a free copy of the book. Perfect. All right. Everyone else, again, text help at 26786 and you'll get a digital copy complimentary on me. So, let me ask you a question. Why is it that so many of us don't achieve our biggest goals in life? Enter in the chat your thoughts. Why do you think so many of us don't achieve our biggest goals in life? The biggest success we're looking for. So, I'll tell you, in 20 plus years as a professional, as a physician, I'll tell you, so often it's issues with your health getting in the way and causing blind spots that you don't even know are there. You may be struggling with low energy, excess weight, or sleep, pains. These issues are holding you back. Stress, we'll talk about in a moment, is killing you. So many of us are suffering from the consequence of stress. Now, so many of the high performers I work with tell me, no, doc, I'm fine. I don't have any stress. I'm good. I'm cool. Nonsense. We all have stress, and it's how do we deal with it? How do we become resilient to stress? We'll talk about it in a moment. That's so important. I'll tell you why this is so important. You look at some of these high-performing individuals. Paul Allen, co-founder of Microsoft. He was worth $30 billion at one point. You know he died at age 56 from health issues, from lymphoma? So often, we're so focused on building wealth that we don't focus on our health. I believe the success you achieve in your life starts and ends with your health. What's the point of building all this wealth, building your business, trying to create success if you're not well enough to actually enjoy it? You have to make your health a priority. So when now is the right time to make your health your priority? Today, right now. You don't get today back. See, this is what high performance health is all about. It's about optimizing yourself, optimizing your body and your brain to achieve success in every area of your life. To live in that top 1% with unparalleled purpose and power and productivity. It's about elevating your game to the next level. Now, who wants that? Who wants to live a high performance life? I sure do. So let's get to those 3 critical drivers for high performance. First, we want to create a high performance mindset. This is a quote from Gandhi. A man is but the product of his thoughts. What he thinks, he becomes. Our thoughts are so powerful on our body, our physiology, on our genes. Our thoughts control it. So what do I mean by this? Let's look at the concept of living with intention. We all know that we're supposed to be healthy, right? We all know we're supposed to eat clean, although a lot of people don't know what that means necessarily. But supposed to eat the right foods, supposed to work out, exercise every day, move every day, supposed to get some sleep, supposed to learn how to deal with stress, learn how to avoid toxins. How many of us actually do that? How many of us live with intention so that your day is designed for high performance? How many of you have created time in your day to focus on meditation, on mindset, on becoming resilient to stress? How many of us have designed time on how to exercise and move? You see, so often we don't live a life of design. And so I like to start with your why. When I work with clients at the Gap Institute, we work first on what is your why. And your day, your life should be designed around your why. What is driving your force? That's what it's all about. That's what high performance health is all about, is living your why. Nothing else here matters today if you're not living your why, living your purpose. And that's the first step in a high performance mindset. Next is overcoming limiting beliefs. Our body listens to our thoughts. Our body hears it and responds to our thoughts. Limiting beliefs include thoughts like, I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'll never be successful. I'll never achieve the goals that I want. I can't do that. These are false constructs in your mind that are simply holding you back. And so when I work with clients at the Gap Institute, we work on how do you overcome these limiting beliefs. Because until you get past those, you're never going to achieve the success you're looking for. Develop stress resilience. We're all facing stress in our life. Financial, social, marital, children, business. How do we become resilient to that stress? Actually embolden us to make us stronger. Once we can do that, everything changes. And we see stress, we see challenges in our life as opportunity. And that's the big difference. And at the Gap Institute, we focus on mindset first, on having the right perspective so that everything in your life becomes an opportunity. Finally, take charge of your health. So often, we're passive. As I talked about earlier, our healthcare system is based around waiting until you have symptoms, waiting until you have problems to stamp that out. The key here is we want to be proactive. We want to take charge of our health. A recent study showed that most doctors here in the US are 17 years behind the science. 17 years. Do you want to live and succumb to a healthcare system that's 17 years behind the science? You want to take charge of your health, be proactive, take advantage of all the technology, all the scientific advances we're seeing in regenerative medicine, anti-aging, so that we can truly live our best life. And so take charge of your health. And at the Gap Institute, we help you do that. Next, find your blind spots. You all know who Bob Harper is? He was the lead trainer on the TV show, The Biggest Loser. He had a heart attack earlier this year, guys. 51 years old, Bob Harper has a heart attack. Now, you think that guy's in pretty good shape, right? He's doing everything right. This was his quote here on the screen. I'll read it to you for the Zoomers who may not be able to see the screen. I didn't think it could happen to me. I'm a guy who lives a very healthy lifestyle, work out all the time, but there were things going on inside my body that I need to be more aware of. Blind spots holding you back. The key here to recognize it's not all about diet and exercise. Let me repeat that. It is not all about diet and exercise. So often, you'll hear about these fad diets. All you got to do to get the best shape of your life is do keto. Or do this magic workout program. Or here's this magic pill. Here's this supplement that's going to answer all your problems. The key is to recognize that there are blind spots holding you back, and it's never as simple as one magic, easy, quick fix. It's a matter of putting it all together in what we call a systems approach to health. And the Gap Institute, we help you find those hidden blind spots that are holding you back. Let me give you an example of what I mean by this. Number one is hormones. I can't tell you how often high-performing individuals come to the Gap Institute and they just want to build more muscle. Maybe they want to burn some belly fat. And they tell me how they've been working out every day, eating all the right foods, but nothing's working. How many of you can relate to that? Type one in the chat. If you tried everything you can, but nothing is working. I can't lose that weight, can't burn that belly fat. I don't like who I am. So often it's hormones. You know, we're experiencing a testosterone pandemic here, where testosterone levels have plummeted by almost 50% in the last 20 years. Free testosterone is 45% lower than it was 20 years ago worldwide. Thyroid levels are decreased. Hormones like vitamin D, even in Florida, we see vitamin D deficiency. Vitamin D is actually a hormone. Other hormones like DHEA and melatonin, nitric oxide, all these key hormones are affecting your health. And we think it's all just diet and exercise. Blind spots holding you back from achieving the success you're looking for. When you're struggling with brain fog late in the day, when you're having issues with performance in the bedroom at night, when you're not able to focus at that board meeting, when you look in the mirror and don't like who you are. So often it's hormones that are affecting you. So when's the last time you had your hormones checked? At the Gap Institute, one of the first tests we do in our performance diagnostic package is we look at all your hormones, not just testosterone, not just estrogen or progesterone, all your hormones, because they're all so important. They act like a symphony affecting every aspect of your body. Gut health. Your microbiome, which is the bacteria in your gut, remarkably control your entire body. The bacteria in your poop are affecting neurotransmitter production in your brain, the way your brain functions, metabolism, how you burn fat, your muscle, how you build muscle, sexual function, energy. Your microbiome, the bacteria in your gut are affecting everything. I'll give you an example of how powerful and important this is. One of my clients, he's a professional race car driver. He came to see me because he felt that his mind wasn't quite sharp enough. There was something missing on the track. He wasn't reacting as quickly as he needed to. Now, for a race car driver, that's pretty important, right? We found one of the biggest issues he had was issues with his gut. We fixed that, we corrected that, and we fixed a couple of food sensitivities associated with that. We found that he was sensitive to bananas and coffee because of his gut issues. And guess what he had for breakfast every morning? Bananas and coffee. Once we eliminated those, cleaned up his gut, overnight, it transformed his mind. He was able to focus his thinking clearer, sharper, and it made all the difference in the world for him. This was a blind spot holding this race car driver back. Imagine what it's doing to you. And so gut health is so critically important when it comes to our health. How many of you have gone to your doctor and they've asked you about your gut health? Rhetorical question. No one. Traditional medicine doesn't even think about looking at this. It's so important we look at high performance. Nutrients. Here we're talking about blood sugar regulation, micronutrients, how our body processes food. And this is a blind spot holding us back because so often we're eating the wrong foods and we don't even know it. Or we have micronutrient deficiencies and don't even know it. And this can affect the way our body functions. This can affect the way our mind functions. The reason you can't burn fat, the reason you can't build muscle. Micronutrient levels, we test this at the Gap Institute, our G1 program for high performance health. We put all these pieces together and we look at all your micronutrients. We understand how the foods you're eating is affecting your blood sugar levels because that affects everything. And so nutrient levels, typically blind spot is holding you back. Next, genetics. So your genes are unique. Every one of us have unique genetics that dictate our health. Our genetics dictate what kind of foods we respond best to. Our genes dictate how our body clears toxins. Our genes dictate how we actually respond to exercise. Let me give you an example of how powerful this is. Tommy, he was a wealth advisor, came to see me because he could not burn his belly fat. And he told me he was running on a treadmill every day. He was eating super clean food, organic foods every day. Nothing was working. Well, we found out through his genetics a couple things. Number one, I found that the keto diet that he was doing was actually harmful. We found that his genetics showed that he did better with increased intakes of carbs. Higher carb intake was better for him to burn fat and build muscle, completely opposite of what you might expect. We found based on his athletic performance genetics that he did better with strength training versus the interval and cardio endurance training he was doing. Making those two little pivots changed everything. And in a matter of months, he was able to completely transform his health. Blind spots only that genetics helps us understand how to individualize it and personalize it for you. Traditional healthcare system is not doing that. This is the future of health and performance and longevity. Next, we want to keep score. If you can measure it, you can manage it. How many of you use wearable technology? Raise your hand. Type 1 in the chat if you use wearable technology. Most of us don't. For those of you who are using wearable tech, you actually know how to use that data, how to interpret it and actually leverage it and apply it. Most of us don't know what to do with it. So many of us are wearing these devices and look at the data and don't know how to interpret it. At the Gavin Institute, the G1 program is how we put all those pieces together, help you understand how to leverage the data you get from your wearable tech devices so that you can use it to your advantage and make the right decisions on a daily basis. For example, sleep. So often people struggle with poor quality sleep. I don't mean quantity, I specifically mean quality. By that, we're looking at deep sleep and REM sleep. The only way to know that is to track it. And the best way we can do that is with a wearable device. There are rings and straps and watches and all kinds of devices. I'm agnostic to which device you choose, but we need to use devices and then understand how to use that data. Sleep is so critically important when it comes to your health. It's when your body repairs and recovers and restores itself. And without good quality sleep, you're never going to get the results that you're looking for. And the only way to know that is to actually track it. The next is stress. And how do we track stress? We can look at a metric called heart rate variability, HRV. This is a data point, a metric that we can use to understand how your body is responding to your environment, to stress. Now, what causes stress? We know psychological stress, but there's also stress from the gut we talked about, hormone issues, nutrient issues, toxic environment. These are all stresses to our body. And if we can track this data, we can use it to understand how we can improve our performance by improving heart variability. And the only way to do that is by tracking it. Blood sugar. A lot of our clients at the Gavin Institute, we use continuous glucose monitoring. It's a simple device you put in your arm, not just for diabetics anymore. It's for high performers who want to learn how their diet and behaviors are affecting their energy through their blood sugar. And so we can track blood sugar on a daily basis, on an hour-by-hour basis, and understand how your actions are affecting blood sugar and make changes appropriately. For example, we found that if you eat carbs, such as baked potato, sweet potato, rice, quinoa even, blood sugar spikes. If you eat fiber, vegetables, and then protein source like chicken, and then eat the carbs, guess what? Dramatically affects your blood sugar changes. And we can see that with continuous glucose monitoring. So it's not just what you eat, it's the order of eating. And the only way to know how that's truly affecting you is through CGM, continuous glucose monitoring. Body composition. So often people are focused on weight loss. I don't care about weight loss. I care about fat loss. Burning fat, building muscle, that's the key. Body composition tracking is so important. We care a lot more about that than actual weight. And I'm going to give you an example in a moment. Finally, biological age. We can actually track not just your chronological age, how old you are chronologically, how many times you've gone on the sun, but your biologic age, your physiologic age. How is your body aging? And that's how we can know if what you're doing is working or not. Let me show you how powerful this is. Here's an example of Eric. He was a network marketing expert who worked with us at the Gavin Institute. His weight didn't change much over the 6 months that's tracked here in this graph. And I know it's tough to see, but his weight went down just a little bit. But his visceral fat decreased by 47%, and his lean muscle mass increased by 10%. Even though he only lost 10 pounds, those are dramatic differences in the way he looks and the way he feels, and those are key results that we care about. This is a race car driver I told you about before. High performance health completely changed my racing performance. My mind has never been sharper. Here's a football coach. I've dropped 40 pounds and 5 inches off my waist to become a healthier man, husband, and father. That's what it's all about right there. It's changing lives. This is Emily. She did the biologic age test that I mentioned a moment ago. She started working with the Gap Institute at the G1 program. At age 40, her biologic age was 44. When she tested it again a year later, she was 38. She got 6 years younger in the year she worked with us. This is Andrew. He lost 30 pounds. I don't ache every morning. I sleep better. The program took me a whole new level of high performance and at home and at work. This is life-changing, guys. So let me share with you how I can help you. How can I help you leverage and apply the concepts I've talked about here today? I have an offer to share with you here today. It's only good for today now. This is the High Performance Health Consultation. Again, special offer for just the audience with us here today. Thanks to Bill Walsh for allowing me to make this offer. This is a 1-hour consultation with my medical team. 1 hour, either virtual, or if you want to come down to our Gap Institute for High Performance Health in Sarasota, Florida, we'd love to see you in person. But again, this is available for anyone around the country, done virtually. A 1-hour consult where we're going to review your health challenges. We're going to understand what's holding you back. We're going to learn your goals, and we're going to discuss ways that we can help you and strategies that you can employ immediately. This is not traditional health care, folks. This is the future of health and performance. This is about, again, optimizing yourself, optimizing your mind and body to achieve high performance. We're going to help you understand how do you develop a personalized path to high performance, no longer settling for just managing symptoms, no longer settling for just treating disease. How do we take our health to the next level so you can achieve the success you're looking for in every area of your life? Again, the success you achieve in every area of your life, especially your business, starts and ends with your health. As bonuses, I'm going to share with you the Ultimate Peptide Guide. And again, a copy of my best-selling book. You'll get a print copy as well. When is the time to invest in your health, folks? It's today. It's right now. You don't get today back. If you want to develop a high-performance life, you need to invest in your health to achieve the success you're looking for. Again, high-performance health consultation just for today, 1-hour consultation. These are typically $500 consultations. Today, the offer is $250. You can use the QR code that's on the screen there to opt in, to enroll today. Donna, if you'll share the link in the chat, thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you guys today. If I can leave you with anything, make your health your top priority. There's no point in anything else you've done if you don't optimize your health. Questions? Yes, thank you. I can't hear them.
Yes, if anybody has any questions here in the chat for a live Zoom or on the streams, just go ahead and type it in the comment section and we will get those over to Dr. Tracy. So yes, I'm going to just say here, after knowing Dr. Tracy over the last year, and I know I just totally booked on his calendar as well, because these are all areas that I am personally interested in, and I've been trying to put it together all at the same time. And what actually clicked here today was that it's all integrative, it's all together. And so I booked my time, so I hope you guys do too. One of the things, one of the questions here on the chat is, how do you test your gut health?
Great question. So how do you test your gut health? There are a couple different tests available. One's a GI effect, one's a GI map. There's also a gut 360. What it is we actually take a stool sample and we send it to a lab, and it analyzes a number of things. It looks at the good bacteria. It looks at the bad bacteria. It tests for parasites and other infections. It looks for inflammation. It looks for something called secretory IgA. Now, this is a key marker as it relates to your gut health and the integrity of your gut lining. So often what happens is we have chronic inflammation and damage to our gut, and that allows damage to the gut lining and it creates an autoimmune process that results from food particles and antigens coming through the gut lining, and that creates a systemic response. So often people struggle with chronic infections, migraines, skin issues, acne, urinary tract infections, low energy, weight gain. It is all related to issues with your gut lining. And so the only way to know that is to do gut testing, and again, microbiome testing, GI Effects, GI 360, any GI Map, any of those tests are great. The key is understanding how to get that test done, but then how to interpret the results as well. That's the key.
Truly.
There was another question.
Yes.
Another question too. Is the fecal test the same that you do with your primary doctor?
Definitely not. Yeah. Question: the fecal test. When you get a fecal test through your doc, they're looking for ova and parasites. That's a very simple, basic test. Sometimes they'll look for C. diff, which is one type of infection. They're doing nothing to look at the healthy bacteria, we call it dysbiotic bacteria, the bad bugs. You know, we have this balance of good bugs and bad bugs, and you want the good bugs to overtake the bad bugs. Traditional healthcare system doesn't look at any of that stuff. They don't look at the integrity of your gut lining, the inflammation, markers of estrogen metabolism, all these other things that we look at. Traditional healthcare doesn't touch it.
And one of the questions we had earlier is, what is a glucose monitor called and how do we get one?
Great question. What is a glucose monitor called? There are a number of devices out there. The short answer is reach out to us and our team. We can help you learn how to use that. There are a number of direct-to-consumer companies out there that you can use. The problem with those is you don't know what to do with that information. And when you use some of these companies, these direct-to-consumer companies, it's focused purely on nutrition. And the key is to understand that there's so many things that affect blood sugar besides just what you're eating. And so I have a team of health coaches, of functional medicine trained health coaches, functional diagnostic nutritionists that understand how to interpret that glucose monitoring data and apply it. And so short answer is come work with us, Gap Institute. Again, text help to 26786 or the high performance consultation. We'll go through all that with you.
All right, awesome. And one last question we have here in the chat is, how much are your programs?
How much are the programs? Thank you so much. So we have low price programs starting at $400. We have high performance consultation here today. Again, $250 today, the enroll today. The G1 program for high performance health is a concierge level integrated program that puts coaching together with genetics, with wearable tech, with medical management. We didn't get to talk about peptides or hormone optimization today. All that is a $15K program. I've been told that's about half what it should be. So we have programs anywhere in between that range.
All right. Truly, truly awesome. Truly valuable information. Any other questions here in the chat for anybody that would have a question for Dr. Tracy? If not, I honestly think that if you guys haven't booked, I would go ahead and take that special offer and go ahead and book. I'm going to share it one more time here in the chat for you. Go ahead and just click on it because I'm going to tell you it is truly, truly a huge value. And if you have your health, you truly have your happiness. So definitely do that. And then also, if you want to get a copy of some great tips, which I've already done and gotten your copy of Millpoint 2.0, which is a digital version to you, phenomenal book, go ahead and text the word health to 26786. And you can grab those bonuses at the very, very, very least. So thank you so much, Dr. Tracy. This was truly valuable. All right, we are going to go ahead and bring up our next speaker here. So most small businesses die before their 10th anniversary, but Albert Corey of Corey and Associates is about to celebrate his 40th anniversary as a successful business owner. And as an accountant, Albert developed the ultimate business launch package. What would you do if you made more money instantly? That's a great question. What would we do with it? His system uses simple marketing and accounting methods. And to increase your business cash flow, Albert Corey speaks on national business stages, showing you how to 10x your income using less time and resources to write your ticket to achieving your dreams. He has trained with Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins, and Bill Walsh, just to name a few. And in his amazing best-selling book, Increase Cash Flow While Drinking Coffee, Mr. Corey teaches you how to increase your business cash flow in just, 10 minutes a day. That's pretty quick there. Pretty quick there. So let's Even though he seems to always be on the job when he's not working, you can find him at Disney World trading pens. So, all right, everyone, let's welcome Albert Corey. You need to unmute, Albert.
By the way, if you hear background noises, this is a real tax office in Miami area. So it's live, it's going, and we're showing people how to put more money in your pocket. Thank you, Don, for that awesome introduction. Did you know that most American businesses will only last 1 year? Did you know that most businesses work over 80 hours a week? Oh, that's a lot. And did you know that most businesses, their relationships won't last? Just look at Tom Brady. He's in business, right? And it didn't last. Well, this is what we're going to show you in the ultimate business launch package. You know, you're going to see what I've been coaching and teaching to my clients for almost 40 years. Now, I'd like to thank Bill Walsh and the Powerteam for putting on an awesome event. Give a great hand for Dawn, the lady, the whisper lady will get all the kicks out of you to make you $1 billion every time, because she's always gets it together. But today we're looking for 4 people who want to 20x their cash in their business. Now, if you're in the room, I want people to raise their hands. But if you're in the chat, okay, if you're in a chat, I want you to right now put 1 in the chat room if you like to 20x your cash in your business. I want you to 20x the cash in your business. Because, there you go. Because that's today, that's what we're going to show you how to do, how to get 20x cash in your business. But guess what? You know, I didn't start out this way. You know, today you see me speaking in Las Vegas, New York, internationally, and on business stages. 2 Amazon bestsellers, 2 Amazon bestsellers, and an amazing office with over 25,000 business owners, saving them $60 million. You know, I didn't start out this way. See, when I was growing up, I was fat, bullied, and picked on. Put a number 1 in the chat. To help you. Library or go buy books. But guess what? That's what we're here for, right? That's what I'm here for, to make sure you can go out and 20x the cash in your business. And let's take a little poll right now. How many of you are authors, speakers? How many of you are authors, speakers? Put a 1 in the chat. All right. And how many of you are business startups? Just started up in business? Okay, 1. Okay, cool. Because right now we're going to start to show you, you know, what would you do if you could change your life immediately? Put it in the chat. What would you do if you could change your life immediately? Okay, what would you do if you had all the money immediately? You can put it in the chat. You know what I'm going to do? Because that's what my program's all about, with the ultimate business launch formula, where we're going to show you, I'm going to have your back. Okay, definitely get healthier first. Yes, right? We're going to have your back to make all the money, Miss Bridget, to do what you want, to get to stay with your people. You know, and that's the name of the game. I've been doing this for almost 40 years and helping $60 million, saving them $60 million. You know, and that's what we're going to do. Well, guess what? The first thing we're going to have to show you is right now is, did you know the accountant is your key to your success? By the way, if you already have an accountant, it's okay. I'm out here to show you. If you need somebody to help you get it done, we will help you get it done to get you there. So how many of you would like some simple tips you can start putting cash in your pocket right away? Right? Raise your hands. By the way, everybody in my world, you can unmute. I like everybody. If you can unmute, it's fine, because that's what we're here for. So if you would like to have more cash in your pocket from simple tips, you can come out and say yes. Right? So now, here's one of the simplest, yes. Okay. Here's one of the simplest tricks I can show you right away that works almost instantly. After doing accounting and business coaching for almost 40 years, I can tell you the biggest problem I see with new people coming to my office is they don't know the dates. If you don't know the dates, okay, the IRS is going to really, really, really hit you hard with penalties. It's like, did you know that March 15th, if you got a business return, you have to file a tax return? If you file on the 16th of March, you're going to get a late charge, right? And did you know if you have corporations in your state that you got to know the dates? You know the dates, you're going to get a late charge. Can I show you a simple trick you can almost do right away? I want everybody to pick up their phone. Right now, once you get in your phone, I want you to go to the calendar. Okay, in the calendar part of your phone, I want you to go to January 5th. January 5th, you're going to put in your phone, I'm going to call my accountant to make sure he files me an extension. So now you're not going to get any late charges. The next thing you're going to go do is on July 5th. On July 5th, you're going to put a note together that says, I'm going to get my papers together. By the way, you should have been starting getting your papers together now. Then on August 5th, you're going to start to set a time to make sure you call the person to get it done. So now it's all going to get done on time. So now that's one way we're going to start to show you how to put more cash in your pocket. Pretty simple and easy. Say yes or put a 1 in the chat. So now the next thing we're going to show you is make sure you know all the tax deductions. Right. Did you know that goodwill and going on Facebook and Instagram is a tax deduction? If everybody knew that, put a number 1 in the chat. If you knew it's an instant tax deduction. Okay. Why is it a tax deduction? Because if you can put any Instagrams, right? Thank you, Bridget. Because if you go on Instagram, Facebook, and social media and start educating whatever industry you're in, now you're putting an ad out. The IRS says that you got to move your business forward. So if you start posting on Facebook, like I do accounting, to make sure, like today I just posted up that says that LinkedIn is a tax deduction. Well, because I did that as a tax deduction, guess what? Now my cell phone is a deduction, my internet, my house, and everything else. And my ultimate business wealth formula, we're going to show you. We're going to show you how to do this. Here's another simple way you can start saving money is do not use TurboTax. Okay, do not use TurboTax. Because guess what? Last thing I knew, TurboTax, I don't know about you, but you can put information in, but it's not going to ask you any questions, right? If you can tell me when TurboTax, you put a question in and answer it's back, dude, I'll be the first one to tell you. And TurboTax has no experience, right? So if TurboTax talk to you, please put a 1 in the chat because I know that's never going to happen. So you don't want to do Turbo because you're not going to know the deductions. So make sure you go to somebody who knows all the deductions. In our class, the ultimate business launch formula, where we're going to make sure you get all the deductions because we've already been there. Another thing is a lot of people use QuickBooks or any of these software programs. Here's the problem with those software. It's the same thing. You need to be working in your business and not on your business. what does that mean? That means is raise your hand if you're in your business that you make the average business owner should be making $100 an hour, correct? Right? Put a 1 in the chat. You should be making at least 100. Because guess what? By the time you do the TurboTax, by the time you do QuickBooks, you can start making more money. Don't do it yourself. Get somebody to do it for you. Another reason why I realized this week is why you want to get somebody to do it for you is, guess what? Now you're going to know it's now August 24th, and you're going to make sure that you got everything done. You now know how much money you have left. So if you got to pay estimated payments, you can do whatever you want. So now when the first of the year comes, you go to the accountant and goes, here, dude, this is done. Okay. Or now you can go and start asking the person, whoever's doing your work, hey, how am I doing so far? What do I need to do? So now you have a gauge. All right. Now you have a gauge. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about is set up your business correctly. Let me tell you something. When you start making money, okay, you got to make sure you know the difference between a DBA, doing business as an LLC, because doing it wrong is going to cost you thousands of dollars. I just did somebody's return, and because he thought, oh, I don't need to call you, I can do it myself. It costed him $14,000. I don't know about you, but guess what? If you would have called somebody because you don't do accounting, raise your hand if you could have put that $14,000 in the bank. Correct? Or how about the guy I just helped to that he was incorporated in one state, okay? He was incorporated, all this business was done in another state, a state with no income tax. Well, this guy, I saved him $29,000. Raise your hand if you could use $29,000 in your bank accounts. I don't know about you, I can. I don't know about you, the government did not need that $29,000. The government did not need that $14,000. You see, that's what we do in the Ultimate Business Launch Formula. We're going to show you. And when you get started today, we're going to give you some amazing bonuses to get you started. Now, would it be okay if I tell you my why? Okay, my why is, it's very easy. You see, I got 3 kids. We go together, we travel together. Heck, we came back from Australia together, football games and everything. But my real biggest why is right now is I want to help business owners. Okay, I want to help business owners make sure they make all the money they can to do whatever you want. Because what did you put earlier? What is your ticket of your dream? What would you do if you had so much money? What would you be doing if money wasn't an object? What would you be doing right now? You can put that in the chat. Okay, because in our Ultimate Business Wealth Launch Formula, where we're going to show you how to get there. We're going to show you how to get there. Right? Here I got something else pretty cool. Put a number 1 in the chat if you would like to know my 3 top business deductions to put money. Oh, I like that one, Shandell. I cannot miss Crawford sitting on the beach. That's right. You got that. So, what I got taking care of my heart disease. Very cool, Carly. Awesome. Very cool. So now I want everybody to. How many of you would like some 3 top tax deductions you can use almost instantly? All right, put a number 1 in the chat. All right. Now, I want everybody to take out their phone. Everybody, come on, pick up your phone. Right? And type in, you want that top tax deduction, text taxman to 26786. You're going to get my 3 top tax deductions that you're going to start to save over. I say if you start using them, you could save easily $10,000 to $15,000 simple. Now, Today we're looking for those 5 people to start working with. What would you do? What would you do if you can make more money simple and easily? Right? What would you do if you knew somebody would have your back to put more money in your pockets? Right? What would you do? You have more money in your pockets. Well, this is why we started the Ultimate Business Launch Formula. Because guess what? We're going to make sure. Everybody's texting me. We're going to make sure we get your company set up properly. You know, what states? Because if you're in states, okay, we're going to make sure your company's set up properly, because we're going to get everything done for you. We'll get everything done for you. We're going to make sure it's set up, office administrated, it's set up perfectly to make sure that you got your officers correct, everything is wrong. Here's the biggest thing is we're going to review your tax return. That's what I do for a living. I've just reviewed somebody's return, and I just did it right now, and I saved them $9,000 right now. In my hand, I'm working on, so I just saved them $9,000, right? We will also in our program, we're going to do this year's return for you. We have a 12-week mastered tax and marketing class that we're going to give you all my systems and processes. We're going to show you everything I have, my first book, Increase Your Profits While Drinking Coffee, how to grow your business for, almost free. I do that every day. I get calls every day from Google and Instagram and Facebook. So my business is growing because we're going to set you up as an expert. But here's some of my best things. We're going to give you 1 hour of my private coaching. 1 hour of private coaching. A year in my private group. Okay, all this for $2,499. And guess what? If you act today, I've got some awesome gifts. The first thing is obviously you're going to get, my bonuses are, you're going to get to speak to me for 1 hour. Okay, you'll be able to ask me any business question. We worked with everything from child actors to lizard ranchers and everything in between. So I'll be able to get your questions answered whatever you want. That's pretty cool. And the next thing you're going to get is some extra bonuses. You're going to get a ticket to the Ultimate Wealth Camp in Las Vegas, where you're going to get to meet over 300 business owners. Because guess what? Connection is the key to success. I can tell you because I go to the events. I met Miss Donna. Me and her became buds always. And Mr. Michael Silveros, right? It's like my brother. We talk, both, right? Everybody will tell you we talk all the time. And when you start going to these events, everybody, this is where you're going to get the lifetime connections that the registers are going to grow. I don't know about you, but y'all want to make some extra money this year, yes? You want to write your ticket out of your dreams. Well, here's what you're going to get when you start working with. You're going to get somebody you can talk to. You're going to get somebody who's going to have your back. Okay? You're going to get somebody to have your back right now. Okay? And that's where you're going to get what the Ultimate Business Launch Formula. It's $2,499. And you can get started today. Okay, let me get you a link here. Tell you what, we're going to make it easier. We'll give you a complimentary call, and we're going to get you started. Raise your hand if you like a good complimentary call. Put a number 1 right in the chat. Would you like a call that's going to save you a bunch of money? Nobody wants to save any money? Thank you. 1, Mr. Greg Lewis. Yes. So guess what? When you text Taxman to 26786 on one of the posts, it's going to be there. So everybody take out their phone and text. Whoever texts me right now, I got an extra gift. So everybody, come on. I want everybody. I got my phone. Yes. Okay. Everybody text Taxman to 26786, and right there you're going to get my call, my Calendly link to make a call, and we can get you started right away. You know, we can get you. Anybody who calls right now, you're going to get right away. And if you call me and we get you started, you're going to get my copy of my book, Increase Your Cash Flow While Drinking Coffee, signed, and we'll go over it. We'll show you all the tips. And if you want, here, let me see if this should be up. And here's the link to get started. If you want to get started now, we'll get you started today.
And I'm telling you, working with Albert has been, by the way, hi everybody. I'm Michael Silverstick, Vice President of Powerteam Bill Inquiry today. But working with Albert has been a savior for all the businesses that I know and people that we work with. And the great thing about Albert is that he can, whether you're a startup, you're beginning, you're in your millions, your tens, wherever you are, he's going to find the way to actually get you down a much clearer path to make sure that you're getting the it's never about savings, but the investments that you need and making sure that your business is set correctly. So, Albert, anything else before we let you go?
Yeah, we'll just get you started. Everybody text. I know I didn't get all 51. So everybody who's there in the room, text me so you can get that free complimentary call, and we'll get you started right away. Because remember, the year is coming to the end. Okay, let me tell you something. If you guys want to start saving money, and I can see Miss Donna is one of my clients, and a bunch of people are my clients. Look, I'm here to help people. Michael knows me well. Bill's been by my office. I'm here to help people because my office does very well in life. But I want to help change the world because at the end, everybody, broke people, last thing I know, the world is kind of messed up, right, everybody? That's the truth, correct? Well, now we got to start making more money so you can start changing the world. Put your vote, and now we can change it together. Because without that extra money, nothing's going to change because the government is not doing a good job. So if you text Taxman to 26786, you're going to get my bonuses, and we can get you started today. All right?
Fantastic. Everybody give Albert a thunderous round of applause. If you have any questions too, you can lay them in the stream. We'll make sure that they go to Albert. Also, this is going out to all of our channels. Albert, you're the best as usual. Everybody right now, pull at your phones and text Taxman, Taxman. Sometimes they can't spell it, neither can I. So that's what I say. To 26786, text Taxman to 26786. Albert, they're saying thank you. You're awesome. It's a great day, everybody, because it's all about education and training, and it's about how we're going to learn what that next step is, or really what that is we really, learn from those around us. And the greatest thing about that is that as we learn about it, we want to make sure that we actually we talked about this earlier, for those of you who are on the stream earlier, we have places for you to meet, because the important part of having a mastermind or something in your network is to meet other people. So we have local masterminds, we have power lunches, and I want you guys to be there, because the power of a mastermind is a group of individuals, everybody write this down, of individuals who get together to create something out of nothing. You should right now pull out your copy, and if you don't have one, go get one, of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and read the chapter on masterminds. Read the importance of people working together. So what we've done at Powerteam, and the importance of what we've done, is we're bringing people together, right? Because community and business are important for each other. We're bringing people together, and we're making sure that they're meeting on a monthly basis to mastermind and network their business. So you go into a mastermind, and you're not just saying, oh, my name is Michael Silvers, and here's what I do. You're actually sitting down at the table every month, working with those in your area, working on a business challenge, a social media challenge. Maybe it's getting more clients. Maybe it's the way you're going to take your business next. And every month you have this brilliant group of individuals working with you and helping you. So right now, what I'd like everybody to do, and I'll start off this right away, is pull out your phones. You've been doing this all day long, and you know how to do this. You have my permission. Your cameras are all off, so your phones could be on. Except for Debbie there. She's like, we're seeing her. But really, this is your time. Pull out your phones. and text GOLD, GOLD, to 26786. Text GOLD, the word GOLD, GOLD, to 2. Are awesome. You then have a way to make a connection. But what are your clients seeing? What are your B2B, whatever it is? What are your patients? What is that first contact they get? What is the second contact they get? What are they purchasing? You guys are awesome. What is going on at that moment that they want to stay engaged? Write the word down, engaged. And do they have a place to get together to meet either each other or to meet you, or the businesses to meet you, to take your business to that next level, to drive your business forward the way you've always wanted it to be, realizing that this is not a land of one. So what we did at Powerteam is we do so many events, over 300 live events, 2 hours of digital. We do so many events that we wanted our community to start getting together live again. And so we're creating these pods of masterminds. If you look at this is just a simple list, right? You guys are still texting. Keep going. Text GOLD to 26786. Recording in progress. With us virtually too. And you guys, you keep texting. That's great. My phone just keeps, there you go. But realize that you want to be part of this community, because if you deal with a community, and we've seen over 1 million people, so it's a fairly large community, but it's a community that helps each other, that works together, that drives the economy together, and helps our own local, label it, I know these guys, and our own local group. It's really important. And for your own business, who are those 4 people in your circle? Now, here's the thing. Don't bring in your brother-in-law. Doesn't work, right? But who are the 4 people in your circle that you would love to be part of this group with you? So that's the beginning of a mastermind. And what we're looking for is 2 things. We're looking for, hey, Mr. Label It, we're looking for 2 things. Number 1, we're looking for those who want to facilitate, be leaders. See, now you all have texted and into, so what you're going to get from me, right, is you're going to get a text today. And that text today is going to be from Michael Silvers. Write this down. It's a 425 number. So you can ignore it if you want. And I'm going to have a little quick chat with you, and then we're going to set up a call, and we're going to see 2 things. Number 1, do you want to facilitate a local mastermind, or do you want to be a member of a mastermind? And there's also the component that's virtual, and that's on Thursdays. And I'll tell you about that on the calls. We talked about it earlier. It's called our Speakers Theater. We do a mastermind on there, and we also do shameless promotion and networking. And it's a Powerteam product. It's for anybody to be on. So we want you involved, and we want to create a place. You guys keep texting. Text, yep. Oh, somebody just texted. Text GOLD to 26786. They want you to pop it up one more time, Donna. I don't know, but that's okay. Text GOLD to 26786. I see it right there, but sometimes I know people look away. There we go. And so here we go. You're going to get a text from me. What I'd love to hear back from you is your name. Everybody got that? Your name, right? we're empowering businesses around the world. I could tell you a million things, but one thing about me that nobody else knows is that I always wanted to live on top of the Pirates of the Caribbean. How's that? So what it does is it builds a relationship. When you build a relationship with somebody, you're making sure that relationship has a different parameter than it did before. Here's a big thing you always got to realize. When I talk to people or I talk on stage, the critical piece here is you have to realize that I've got to make sure you never feel like you have to take care of me. Number two, write this down. This is even with a client one-to-one. They don't have to take care of you and keep them in the now. You can drive them into the future with some conversations, but bring them back into the now, because that takes away the stress. They're open to your message. If they feel they have to take, I've got a really sad story and you should hear where I came from and everything, blah, blah, blah. The problem becomes now they feel they have to take care of you and they're outside of the message. They're not listening to what needs to happen. They don't know the next step, and that's a really critical piece. So in a mastermind, we're going to teach you to make it all about them. But they don't have to take care of you. You're going to work together on your businesses. You're going to drive your business forward. You're going to be part of that local group. I know also that we have the Breakfast Club coming on in Minneapolis, and we have the Breakfast Club coming on. You know, they're all over. That just got texted to me. So make sure that number one, you take care of yourself today, which is always okay. Get your water, get your food. You've got an amazing speaker coming up next because he is our CEO. Number two, you've texted me. You've engaged with the other speakers today, like Albert, text Taxman to 26786. You're moving your business forward because you're willing to ask the question. It's not about, oh my God, I can't afford something, or I'm not ready, or that takes yourself out of the game before you began. What it is today for you, it's how can I engage and say yes? How can I engage today and say yes? So I am going to text you back. I'm going to get that wonderful information from you. I'm going to text you. I'm going to say, hi, this is Michael Silver's Executive EVP of Powerteam, right? Because you know what I do now, and you know one thing about me nobody else does. Then you're going to text that back to me. When you do, we will set up a phone call. And that phone call is going to happen in the next 24 hours. And that phone call is going to be targeted towards what it is that you want to do. This is not a diatribe of everything you wanted to do in life and everything that didn't happen. This is about where are you today and where are you moving forward. How you'd like to be part of the mastermind, whether it's as a member or whether it's to facilitate a mastermind. I don't hide pricing. I don't hide anything else. To be a member with us is $500 a year. And then you get to come to all these masterminds and virtual, and you get to play a lot with us. And I'll tell you what it is to facilitate, and I'll do the numbers with you in the math. We'll see if it makes sense for you. And then we'll invite you to some very special places to be. And you've got to make sure that you play with people who are there for you, going to help you, assist you, and make it all about you. I just wanted to thank everybody on the stream today. And, give a big, thunderous round of applause to Miss Donna Campbell, because if she not rocked the stream today, give that up. Just give it up for Donna. She has rocked the stream today. She's now going to tell you a little bit about really the masterminds, what they've done for her, and then she's going to bring up our next amazing CEO, trainer, speaker, has changed the world. And you guys are awesome. Life is good. And we just look forward to working with you all in the future. And I'll be talking to all of you who texted GOLD to 26786. Watch from those texts from me. I've got 2 training calls, and then I'll be texting away and setting up appointments. I got time this afternoon. I got time tonight. I got time tomorrow. We'll make it work. And we'll take your business to the next level. Over to Donna Campbell.
All right. Thank you there, Michael.
You're on mute, Donna.
Can you hear me here? All right. Can you hear me? All right.
Perfectly.
Okay, perfect. Totally awesome. Yes, running a couple of different Zoom channels and streams. Sometimes my mic goes in and out and pops on and off. All right. So thank you, Michael, for all of that. And masterminds are truly, truly the way to go. I know Michael talked about the Think and Grow Rich book, and that book would not even be possible if it wasn't for masterminds. 500 is an amazing price. I'm going to tell you why here in just a moment. But it's not about golf. It's all about gold, G-O-L-D, because we make gold. Gold comes, gold multiplies when we mastermind together, because we bring together the most brilliant of minds in the mastermind, and we all get to network, we get to help each other, we get to facilitate with each other. And just a few things that the masterminds that have done for me, I've been able to attend to a couple of them. I go live when I'm out traveling and speaking. And this last Friday, I was actually in Menifee, California, and they are starting the mastermind group there. And I met some of the most amazing people there that have so many gifts and so many different talents. And so when you get to sit around and say, hey, this is where I'm at in business and here's my challenge, and the most brilliant people come and share their expertise, total gold. So that's why it's called gold. So definitely text gold to 26786 and learn more about the masterminds, to be able to go, to attend, to be a part of them, because they're popping up all over the US and they're being hosted monthly in many, many different locations simultaneously. So wherever you are, there's one there, or if not, we have one coming to you. But they're just truly, truly priceless ways of getting to know people, get connected, and to coordinate, be together, and accelerate everybody's business, expand, grow, and multiply it there, because we're all there to be a service to help with each other. All right. Awesome. So let's go ahead and we're going to bring up our next speaker. It's the one that we've always been waiting for with everyone. And he is a best-selling author of the book, The Obvious. And he is a top 30 global business coach for 7 years in a row now by Guru Magazine. He is the founder of Powerteam International. He's a featured expert in the movie Beyond the Secret, The Awakening. And he has given over 5,000 presentations to over 1 million people. This man never stops. I don't think he actually ever sleeps. So let's go ahead and everyone give a huge round of applause here for Mr. Bill Walsh. All right. Yep, you are ready, Bill. And if you want, yes, come on up. We are ready for you here on the screen.
Can you hear me okay now?
Yes, I can hear you now. I cannot see you.
You will be able to.
Just a moment. There we go. Perfect. Out of all of the people, out of all of the business coaches, I'm going to tell you the information that Bill is going to be sharing with you here for the next 30 minutes, 40 minutes or so is just truly priceless. So grab your piece of paper, grab a pen. You're going to be writing fast.
Yes, clear, loud, clear, good.
Yes.
And, first of all, I want to thank Dr. Lee. I want to thank Dr. Tracy. I want to thank Donna and Michael, and of course Albert, just for taking the time to plug in today, and of course Ben, that flew in to have some meetings down here as well. But if you didn't take advantage of all these opt-ins, you're leaving money on the table. I will tell you this, that everybody thinks it's easy to build a wildly successful business. But I will tell you this, that most small businesses fail. They don't make it. Does that make sense? Most entrepreneurs don't make it even 2 years. For those that don't know, we run a venture fund. We do business courses, speaker courses, mastermind events. But I thought today I would just have a very candid, fun conversation about what it takes to win in business. And I think so often we get sidetracked. Many times we get lost in the journey. And I always get this question, how do you just stay so focused? How do you continue to keep going when things aren't so good? And just so you guys know, I can say that I've been broke and I've been wealthy, and broke sucks, but you'll always find your real friends, yes or no? And I know if you're listening online, if you guys have ever been broke, put a 1 in the chat box. Let me just see some 1s in that chat box. because I know we've all been there, right? It's just part of the story. But for me, out of high school and college, I became a trader. We did turnarounds for a decade. I was really excited about fixing companies, and I was good at it. And then I took a break almost for 2 years, because sometimes you have to check out to check back in. And sure enough, I teamed up as a marketing partner with a company called GoDaddy. We put together another partnership with a group called Franklin Covey, help you get your time management and your planning done. We teamed up with another group called First Data to make sure you had the best credit card processors in the country. And then, of course, we gave you a business plan. We launched a product in O2 called Successful Dude. And it was really simple. It was just a business in a box. And the whole idea was that we knew that if we could just curb a little bit the failure rate, right, there was such a big opportunity. So for those that really want to make big money, write this down: solve big problems, or work on solving big problems, or work on making something better. Well, we addressed the problem issue. The problem issue is that most entrepreneurs don't make it. Like I said, 85% don't make it 2 years. Of those, other half don't make it 5 years. So it's tough to make it in this country as an entrepreneur, even though we have the best odds in the world, right? So when you put us against every other country, I'd still rather work on my dreams and goals and ideas here than anywhere else in the world. But it's also easy to get distracted. I have found that most entrepreneurs, they'll come up with reasons why they fail versus results as to why they win. And so we launched that product in 2002. I didn't have a lot of money, but I had great relationships. And if I were to tell you today, the greatest investment you'll make in business is to invest in relationships. And if you'll invest in those relationships, it'll pay you a lifetime of dividends. So we launched an incubator course called Rainmaker in 2005. We let you come to the weekend program, you plus 4 people. We give you access to a country club membership, to a business club membership. We give you access to fly you and put you up for the weekend. Our next one's in Vegas. We give you weekly mentoring for the whole year. We also give you access to an entrepreneur club, over 2,000 plus entrepreneurs that you can talk to every day. And you're going to focus on our trainings where we do meet 4 times a year, you plus 4 people, on business growth, on internet marketing, on public speaking, on grants, on book writing, on sales funnels, marketing funnels, loyalty funnels. And we bundled the whole program for $5,000 for the year. So we made it very affordable for somebody that says, I'm serious about growing my business, but I really don't have all the answers. I'm serious about scaling my business, but I'm missing the answers. And believe it or not, it's not only the training that we give you, probably the greatest component, or one of the greatest components of our incubator course, Rainmaker, is the network. Does that make sense? And if you're listening online, if you guys are listening here today, if you're online, put a 1 in the chat box. If you'd like to be part of an elevated network, if you'd like to be part of spending more time with millionaires and billionaires, if that's you guys here, just raise your hands, right? So if you're online, and you can raise your hand, or put a 1 in the chat box if you believe that you'd have more success if you spend more time with more millionaires and more billionaires. Well, we figured this out. This became really the equation for success: with better leadership skills, better communication skills, better teams, better systems, become accountable and learn to execute. And then, of course, learn to become a better public speaker. And then learn all the secrets of online marketing. Learn all the secrets of how to partner with influencers. So we built this back 17 years ago, and we've offered the program now in more than 30 countries around the world. And we do it 4 times a year in the US. We do it in Vegas in December. We do it in Dallas in March. We do it in Chicago in June, and Orlando in September. All with the super clear intention that I believe that all entrepreneurs need some help. All entrepreneurs need to be around more positive-minded, inspiring people. And then, of course, after that, we launched our venture fund, our masterminds, our public speaker training programs for those who want to learn to speak and sell from stage. If you're really about speaking to sell from stage, we created courses for that. We began to invest in these things called the Small Business Expos. We went from 2 cities to 17 plus cities, over 100,000 attendees a year. We brought on Google, AT&T, T-Mobile. We were the main sponsor for it. But we ran the workshops, the main stage, the impact zone, all the Ask an Expert zone. So they basically did their part. We did our part. And sure enough, after that, we launched book writing courses, internet courses, local masterminds, think tanks, social summits, digital summits, of course, global digital summits as things changed. And that's really the idea of this came from, was that, when everything went crazy a couple of years ago, we decided to go digital. So within 11 days, we went from 300 live events to no live events and took the whole thing digital. And so you're here today online or on the stream or live in the studio today because we had the intention that why not take it to the world digitally? And everybody here, if you have something great that's in your mind, in your heart, in your soul, you better bring it to market. Because if you don't go to market with your ideas, you'll watch people take your ideas and they'll make millions and you'll be pissed off. I know this might have already happened to you already, where someone took your idea or something you thought about, but you didn't do it, they took action. I will tell you that in life and in business, if you don't take action on life, life will take action on you. Does that make sense, everybody? And you'll wonder what happened, right? So today I thought it'd be really fun to have a conversation about what does it really take to win in life and business? What does it really take to get so far outside your comfort zone that you leave yourself no more choices anymore? And this is where, when it comes to entrepreneurship, I will give you some key drivers, and I will tell you that everything starts with your belief system. So write down number one, write down your belief system. And you guys can write that here. There's little code sheets out there. If you guys want those code sheets on the center of the table. And if you feel that the Rainmaker program is a good fit for you, if you're online and want to come to Vegas, want me to fly you in, give you access to the same country club group I belong to, give you access to our mentoring group, give you access to our weekly coaching and all of our live event series over the course of the year, you can just go to Rainmaker Summit. It's rainmakersummit.com. You don't have to wait till I'm done. You can go right to the website, order your ticket, reserve your seats now. And we'll still give you all the bonuses that we talked about, even though they're not online. Online, it's normally one ticket for the 5K. But if you're here today or online today, go right to rainmakersummit.com. Say, Bill, I need to be in Vegas. I want to belong to the country club you belong to. I want to belong to the groups you belong to. I want to connect with your groups. And I believe if I'm part of that, there's no doubt my business is on the right track. But if you don't have the right belief system, please write this name down, Henry Ford. What Henry said was so good. He said, whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. What happens for us is that we allow people to inject garbage into our heads that says you're not good enough, you're not this, you're not the right skin tone, you're the wrong background, you came from the wrong side of the tracks, you don't deserve to be wealthy. What do you mean you're going to be a real estate person? What do you mean you start your own business? Because what happens is programs have kicked in that says, you know what, you're dumb, you're stupid, you're not going to make it, you don't deserve all this stuff. As kids, we're told that you're dumb or stupid thousands of times. And believe it or not, we start to believe the things that we're told. For example, you might have heard this one. Money doesn't grow on trees. But if you ask the kids in Colorado, they would say it does, yes or no. So maybe it's weed-like, but have they gotten paid, yes or no? Oh, you know they've gotten paid. But begin to think here today, right? How many times in your life as a kid growing up were you told you're awesome, you're fabulous, you're amazing, you're a great student, you have big things to do. The sky's the limit to what you believe is possible. How many times was that reinforced by, hey, let me bring you to some networks with millionaires and billionaires. Hey, let me put you in some of the right rooms where the real deals are happening. Or was it, we can't afford that. We can't afford this. This is all you get. And that's too bad. And don't think outside the box, because if you do, then you must be strange or different. See, the funny thing is that the minute you make your first $1 million, those same negative people that were putting you down are now the same ones come back and say, oh my gosh, I knew you could do it. I knew you could do it. So today I'm going to ask you to pick up some success in reading. I'm going to ask you to pick a book called Think and Grow Rich. Guys, write this down, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. The second book I'd ask you to read, which I talked about earlier, the founder, is called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by a guy named Stephen Covey. The next book I'd ask you to read, if you guys are up for the challenge, if you're up for the challenge, put a 1 in the checkbox. If you guys are here, put your hands up high. Let me say you're up for a challenge, yes or no. Because if you're not willing to be challenged, you're taking up too much space. That makes sense? But this next book was written by a guy, Napoleon Hill also, and co-authored or co-written with Sharon Lecter, the co-author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But this book is called Outwitting the Devil. Outwitting the Devil. And I will tell you that your belief system, believe it or not, will guide you to success or get you off track to failure faster than anything else you can do. Because the number one killer for small business is not money, it's not leadership, it's not thought process, it's not partnerships, It's self-doubt. The number one killer for small business is self-doubt. And most people quit, believe it or not, 3 feet from goal. There's a story of Darby that had the biggest gold find ever. Look up the story, just Google it for yourself, Darby gold find. And there's a great book by my friend Greg Reed, who wrote a book called 3 Feet from Gold. And so often that, and you heard this earlier, I think Dr. Lee put a post about this, right? That whatever you feed your mind, you become. So whatever you feed grows. Whatever you focus on, you become. But if your belief system isn't right, there's no way to get there. Does that make sense? So starting today, I would challenge you for 90 days. Part of the Rainmaker Challenge is to feed your mind with great stuff. Feed your mind with good intel every day. There's a guy online, his name is Jim Rohn. Look up Jim Rohn, R-O-H-N. He was actually the first mentor to a guy named Tony Robbins. He was actually Tony's first employer. So if you haven't worked with Jim Rohn, you need to starting today. Does that make sense? Don't wait on this stuff. I watch people wait on things to happen. Please don't wait on things to happen. Does that make sense? Be the one that makes things happen. Don't wait on things to happen. Be the one that makes things happen. But that starts with your belief system. It also starts with, number 2, your ability to effectively communicate. So number 1 is my belief system. What I feed is going to grow. Number 2 is my ability to become an effective communicator. And I would tell you that the power of language is more powerful, believe it or not, than anything you can do. You literally have the power to speak into your own listening and to someone else's listening. There's 2 powerful words. Write these down. I am. Write down the words I am. They're a statement of identity. No more wanting or trying or maybe. You'll hear people say, I really want to show up. I really want to be a part of that. Bullshit. If you wanted to be a part of it, you'd have what? You'd have been there. Does that make sense? Because believe it or not, I learned to listen with my eyes. Learn to listen with your eyes. It's not what they say. It's always what they do. Begin to think so far outside the box that people think you're nuts, that there is no box. But until you start thinking like that, right? Until you start communicating like that, if you go back and you search a guy named Tom Brady, I know somebody made a comment about him earlier that didn't always work out. Well, let me tell you what, the guy said one hell of a run. But in 7th grade, he wrote a paper about the person he was today would be nowhere near the person he is tomorrow when he plays as a quarterback in the NFL. He wrote that in 7th grade. So begin to think today, what are you feeding your mind, right? And of course, it didn't hurt that his dad played in the NFL, right? It didn't hurt that he was around that atmosphere. That certainly makes a difference. But you don't have to become a statistic of where you were born or what you were born with or who you were born around. You have to be the one that breaks through all the norms. What to break through all the norms, believe it or not, self-communication. Self-communication drives everything. If you get in front of you're talking, I'm great and I'm amazing, I can do all these things, but then you go sit on the couch and eat bonbons. It means that your values don't line up with your actions. And the power of communication says, you know what? If I'm going to be even healthier, I've got to work on even better habits every day. If I'm going to be even wealthier, I've got to work on even better habits every day. And the question is, what are your habits? When we start to think about your communication, your belief system, those communications drive what we do every day. I really want to go to the gym. I really want to call those other 5 customers. I really want to make 2 more prospecting calls. Bullshit. You want to make 2 more prospecting calls, you what? You pick up the phone. I really want to make sure that someone comes to the event. No, you would send a text, you'd send a phone call, you'd pick them up. You see, the thing that we do is we allow ourselves to fall back on what we created. Because believe it or not, everybody, please write this down too. Fear of loss is greater than fear of gain. People never want to lose what they have. Does that make sense? They don't. Fear of loss is greater than fear of gain. But I know that effective communication to the internal parts of our brain has to tell you that we are here for a limited time. We simply rent our space on it. Does that make sense? You better start communicating with yourself that there's a sense of urgency. You need to communicate with others, there's a sense of urgency. Because if there's no sense of urgency, you'll always go back to what you've always done. And if you go back to always what you've done, you always keep getting what you've always what? God, yes or no? And that's the thing today that I would challenge you once again, that what does it look like to really think outside the box? What does it look like to really have a better conversation with yourself, a better conversation with your family, a better conversation with your team? How do you have an even more empowering conversation? Everything starts with those two words, I am. So number one, your belief system and your communications with yourself, with your team, with others, when you speak in front of people. You know, are you pulled back? Are you drawn? Are you not coming full out, right? Speak from down here. Does that make sense? Don't speak from up here. And speak from a conversation standpoint. Speak about things you know. But when the communication starts to really move you to a higher level, and you can begin to speak into someone's listening, now all of a sudden it's a game changer. If you're listening today, you're online today, and you want to have communication skills at such a high level that you can speak into someone's listening, you should get your Rainmaker ticket now. You don't wait. If your communications goals are written down about wanting and trying and maybe, and they're not clear, they're not specific, they're not measurable, there's no way to win. But once you've got those things down, you start to realize your communication has to be guided around this to win as an entrepreneur. Number one, it starts with a big vision. So under communication, communicate a big vision. Where is it you're going at a very high level? Number two, under communication, right? What's your mission? How do you plan to get there? It's where you're going. How do you plan to get there? The goals are nothing more than mile markers. Does it make sense? When you put goals and you wrap them around a mission, if your goal is to become the number one realtor in the state of Florida, great. How many clients you got to serve to do that? How many homes you got to sell per year to be number one? I got to sell X number of homes per year. That means over the next 5 years, how many per quarter? How many per month? How many per week? How many per day? Are you really breaking it down to the ridiculous? Because if the vision's not big enough, it's not going to pull you outside the comfort zone. And motivation doesn't work. Tell me, what happens when you motivate idiots? What do you have when you motivate idiots? What do you think you have? You got motivated idiots. And where are they going? No, they go to a place right in the town. It's called Busyville. Busy. Did you ever call your friends? I'm busy. Busy doing what? I don't know, but I'm busy, right? Busy goes to the next stop on the train called Brokeville. And after Brokeville, the last stop on the train for an entrepreneur that 86% run into is called burnout. And they quit 3 feet from goal because their communication didn't start in the right place. That makes sense. They're really true understanding of belief system of be realistic of what it takes to win as an entrepreneur. It's not overnight. If it takes you 2 to 5 years to build a great business, please write this down. If you're at home, write this down. It's worth it. I don't care how anybody else measures success. You measure success on your own terms. Is that clear? You only measure success on your own terms, not somebody else's. And so we start to realize that if we have those two things down, we can be very clear in our belief system. We can be very clear in our communication. Now it starts to happen. We start to realize, you know what? I need a great plan. I don't care what business you're in, guys. I don't care if you're building houses, if you're building a fence, if you're putting a in-ground pool in, if you're building a garage, if you are building a spaceship, if you are building a car, everything starts with a plan. If you don't have a plan, you actually do have a plan. Jeanette, you write this down. If you don't schedule your success, you've already planned your failure. And you don't even realize it yet. So if you haven't taken the time to write out a good plan, a comprehensive plan, if you haven't taken that time to write out an SBA-driven plan, if you haven't written a plan that includes applying for grants, getting yourself positioned well. You know, I talk about Mingle all the time, MINGL.NO. Get your own influencer site set up today. Get your own book cover done, go to Canva. Get your own podcast set up, go to Anchor. Get yourself on national, international media, newspaper, prints. Use Haro. Help a reporter out. Please don't tell me what you don't have. Tell me what you do have. If you're missing pieces of this, you can't guess that. Does that make sense? Part of Rainmakers own the belief system. Understand the communication, but build a great plan. We give you 3 parts of the plan: success track, success plan, full-blown business plan. Don't want to do the work? Stay home. Because if you don't have a plan, believe it or not, you've already scheduled your own failure. If you're not applying for grants, if you're not having great gift cards when you talk about your business, if you haven't taken the time to really invest in yourself, don't wing this one, guys. This is not like your first day of riding your bike. This is about your life. It's about what's going to happen for the next 2 to 25 years. And you better have a clear plan. And this is important, guys. Inside the plan, write this down. This is critically important. Do you have a budget? Have you even thought about a budget? What's your go-to-market strategy? Have you actually thought about the plan? What's your exit plan if it doesn't work? What's your exit plan if it does work? See, what Rainmaker helps you understand is all the questions that you know to ask, but have no idea who to ask. And I'll promise you this, if you keep getting advice from broke people, you'll be what? You'll be broke. You hang out with 4 broke people today, you'll be the 5th. I promise you. I've seen it happen too many times. So when you start thinking about the plan, what pieces do you have? What pieces don't you have? Are you truly an effective leader? Do you have a product or service that solves a problem? Does it make something better? Are you priced to sell? Is it priced for profit? Man, I sell this product for $10 and it costs us $9.20 to make it. Then you're already out of business. That makes sense? Because you have no money to pay anybody. You certainly can't pay taxes. You certainly can't pay yourself. You can't pay your team. But in your actual configuration of the plan, have you even thought through some of these things? Have you taken the time to understand that these are parts of the components that every winning business I've ever seen, they've really been methodical. And I'm not saying that you die from, what I call, paralysis of analysis. I'd sometimes rather have ignorance on fire than knowledge on ice, yes or no. And you guys have seen this out there. You guys have seen great products nobody buys. You've seen shitty products everyone buys. The difference is that one group goes to market, one group doesn't. And you guys have to be non-negotiable today. You really have to think today, how do I build that non-negotiable posture? And this is important inside the plan. Write this down. You have to become a CEO. You truly have to become a leader. Maybe you're not the CEO, maybe the marketing person. But truly, the CEO is a chief empowerment officer. It is not a chief everything officer. But this has to be thought out in your plan. But so do your budgets. Begin to figure out over a timeline, who do you need? Well, let me tell you when you start. You got to have someone like Albert Corey. You've got to get someone for your taxes. You got an accountant and you get a lawyer. 2 things you got to have, everybody write it down. Tax attorney or a tax accountant and a lawyer. If you're trying to grow or scale a business without these 2 guys or ladies, you're missing out. Now you can have it outsourced, and as you get bigger, bring it in-house. When you're starting out your business, part of this process to make sure that you're applying for the right grants every quarter. When you attend Rainmaker, you guys, we'll give you more than 60 places to apply for grants. Now these are grants under 100,000. Always apply for a grant, 1 grant per quarter, under 100 grand. And the great thing about grants is that you don't got to pay them back. Would that be okay? Yes or no? If you're online, how many people online would like to learn about how to apply for more grants? Put them in the chat box if you'd like to learn about how to apply for more grants. Man, you guys don't even see it. The one's popping all over you. You got to see it at the bottom of the screen, right? Because if you're not doing this, you're leaving money on the table for someone else, write this down, that had a better plan than you. Their plan was better than yours. Their plan got them more capital. When they had more capital, they had more what? Options, yes or no? Think about it today. If you're here today, and if all you did was learn how to apply for 1 grant that got you more than $10,000, would that be well worth investing $5,000 into an annualized learning program, yes or no? If you haven't done this so far, what makes you think you'll do it on your own? You don't even know where to go. Most people have no idea where to go, where to apply. So if you're online, you don't got to wait. You go to rainmakersummit.com, and you get yourself a ticket. We're going to pick up your flight. We're going to get your hotel to come out to Vegas. We're going to put you up for the 2 nights for the Rainmaker program. And don't forget, it goes on for 5 days. So we have the Rainmaker, we have the Internet Marketing Camp, and we have the 1-day training and just public speaking. But this is as you're moving down the path, right? But you get all that for $5,000 for you, and you get to bring 4 people. Now, the flight's only for you. The country club only for you. But you now belong to the same country club group that I use. You see what I'm saying? Oh, Bill, you have a better edge. No, you have the same edge now. Because I've been a member of that club for 20 years. I know that country club group works. Does that make sense? If you guys have a passion to connect with more high-level people, when do you think would be a good time like now to get started? When? Now. Because if not, once again, you'll watch people with nowhere near your talent make 10 times your money. And it has to piss you off. Yes or no? And if you guys get enrolled today online, I got a special gift for you guys. But take advantage of it right now. Rainmakersummit.com. Click the button, buy the program, get yourself in. So now we understand belief system, communication, and a plan. Yes or no? Are we all clear on that? Yes or no so far? We all got that pretty clear? Do we all feel, a one in the chat box, if those three areas are very important to you winning in business? What do you guys think? Yes or no? Here too, you guys think yes or no? For sure. So when we start to go through this process, right? If I've got those things in play and I feel like I'm ready, right? I've got my plan, right? I've got, once again, I've got my belief system, my head is straight. Here's one thing that I found that is a game changer for almost all small business. And this is what happens for a lot of people, and they don't understand this, right? Please write down these two words together, three words: sales and marketing. Sales and marketing. And I get this question a lot. Hey, Bill, are sales and marketing the same thing? They're not. They're not even close. Marketing is what brings you the sales. That makes sense? So let's talk marketing first. This is just half through, right? So once again, we talked about your beliefs. Ways every day to bring your brand to market. Make sure your logo's good. Make sure your tagline is straight. Make sure that, once again, everything matches up and your website matches up. Make sure you've got the right colors. Make sure you've invested in good pictures. Don't put crappy pictures out there online. I know this sounds crazy, but it all counts. Your Instagram account, you got 25 followers, don't tell people you're an influencer. Nobody likes your post and nobody likes your pictures. Does that make sense? So whatever your one channel is where your perfect customer lives, when it comes to marketing, write this down. Learn your avatar. Discover your avatar. Discover who buys from your avatar. Discover who sells to your avatar. Discover where your avatar lives. Understand their age. Understand where they go to school. Understand their income. The better you do with your avatar, the easier your sales and marketing becomes. If you are focused on selling products, let's say high-end insurance products to people 35 plus, and you're spending all your money on TikTok, you're probably missing your customer, yes or no? You've got to know, once again, where does your customer hang out? Who do they hang out with? How can I tap them? How does my marketing become so good? What colors do they like? Have I put social impact inside my marketing? Have I included referral programs? Do I actually understand how to use Facebook properly? Have I set up a business page as an author? Do I have a group page just for my clients? Have I built community pages? If you're not building community pages on Facebook, you're missing out. They give you these tools for free, and yet most people will not take the time to put them in motion because they think it's a waste of time. But if you study all the unicorns for the last decade, that's $1 billion valuation. Write this down. $1 billion valuation, 5 years or less. That's a unicorn. They only have one thing in common of all the unicorns. They've all built something called an active community. I learned this with my son Austin years ago. He talked about active community 7, 8 years ago. So circle active community. Ask yourself every day, what can you do even better to build an even more active community? See, please get this and get this clear. Sales are nothing more than a byproduct of great marketing. Sales are nothing more than a byproduct of great marketing. By the time you get to the Apple store, you don't even know what you're buying. You just know it's an iPhone 22. Can you tell me even 10% of what that iPhone 22 does? No, not at all. The marketing is so good on their camera, on this, on that you walk in needing an iPhone 22. Now, I'll tell you this today because think about it. Do you actually have good marketing material? Have you written your book yet? Have you published any stories? Do you write blogs? Do you have someone else write your blogs? Are you actually using those short 1-minute videos? Yes or no? You're going to learn all this at Rainmaker. You're going to bring all your sales materials. You're going to bring everything to the class. You're going to go over it step by step by step by step. And if you're missing it, you're going to realize why someone else with nowhere near your talent, with nowhere near your offer, is kicking your ass. How many here on the stream would like to win big? Put a one if you like to win big. Put one in the chat box. You guys here, raise your hand. Like to win big, yes? Good. Write this down. Stop trying to do it by yourself. Learn to understand. Learn things so you can learn it, you can do it, and you can delegate it. Because if you don't do that, right, you're going to burn out. Figure out what your great skill sets are inside marketing. But in marketing, make sure your collateral matches. Create nice stuff in color. Create banners. You can buy these banners for $50, $60. There's a website called Build-A-Sign. I'm not going to invest in that. Then don't. But then don't bitch when someone else gets sales and you don't. You're passing off black and white copies, yet we're in a color world. Most of your customers are visuals while you're busy talking. Give them visuals that back up your conversation. Learn to use websites. Learn to use YouTube. Learn to use tools out there for your marketing that put you in the marketplace that's second to none. Oh, I don't want to pay for that. Go to Upwork, Upwork.com. And this is important, you guys. Part of your business plan, get some cash. Get some credit. If you don't believe in yourself, you don't believe in your business, why would anybody ever invest in you? Have you put any of your own money in? You guys have watched Shark Tank enough times. How much of your own capital do you put in the business? Oh, I put in $75. Well, I want you to give me $500,000. But I haven't proven the idea at all, but I want you to invest all your money. No, an idea is worth 10%. So you've got to prove your model inside your marketing. You got to know who's your avatar. You got to know where they live. You got to know what colors they like. What social media channels are they on? If you use LinkedIn, use Linked Helper. If you guys use Instagram, use Reels. Using Facebook, use polygonal marketing. Using Facebook, learn to run geo-targeted. Write this down. Geo-targeted free marketing per city. You got clients in Dallas, we'll show you how to run free ads in Dallas. You got clients in New York, we'll show you how to run ads in New York. But if you're not using these things, that means you're giving yourself not even close to a great chance to win. Because I want you to realize marketing is about exposure. Marketing is about how many times could they see that same thing, that same offer, or by the time they've seen it 30 or 40 times or heard about it, like, I've got to have that today. And when the marketing's done that well, it's an emotional connection to purchase. And that's where sales kick in. So the marketing side, we're going to make sure you guys got the best tools, the best brochures, best gift cards instead of business cards, the best messaging, right? So you begin to own some of this stuff. Well, then the sales part of this, right, is it easy for them to buy from you? Is there one click buying? You go to Rainmaker Summit right now, you can click on the button, click one more button, 3 clicks to buy, and you're in the program. It takes that fast. If you guys have gone to the website and you've already ordered, put a one in the chat box. So once again, if you've already got yourself set up for Vegas, if you want a country club membership, if you want to fly to Vegas, you've gone over with our team for a whole year, you get to come 4 times. You get to come to the business course, the speaker course, and the internet course. Don't leave any of this stuff aside. Because when it comes to your sales process, write this down. You've got to ask for the sale. Believe it or not, the reason 95% of people buy is because somebody asked them to. Are you doing a good job of asking for the sale? And if you're embarrassed to ask for the sale, it means you don't believe in your offer. And it's not about lowering the price. Walmart, Amazon compete on price. We small business owners compete on value. A small business by the U.S. government standpoint is under $250 million a year. That puts about 93% of all companies in the U.S. in the area of small business. We employ the most people in the country. But it's also important you understand as that small business, learn the value stack. When it comes to sales, add value after value after value. If all we did was show you to become a best-selling author, that more than pays for your whole program. If all we do is help you become a better public speaker, teach you how to run your own events, teach you how to get on stages, that more than pays for the $5,000 you pay for the program. Does that make sense, everybody? Begin to think once again, way outside the box. What'd you pay for college? What'd you pay for your last vacation? What'd you pay for your car? How many times that car made you a sale? How many times that vacation made you a sale? How many times that vacation gets your book published and sold on Amazon? See, what you got to begin to really think about is that when you're starting a business, it's grind mode. It's 100% grind mode. You don't have the right to flip because you haven't earned that right yet. Does that make sense? You don't have enough customer referrals coming in. But when it comes to your sales process, ask for referrals. When it comes to your sales process, make it easier to buy online. When it comes to your sales process, make it easier to find you on SEO. Make it so simple. There's apps like, if you haven't used this one, right? It's called InShot. InShot for $15 a year lets you shoot all your 1-minute videos, push one button, put all your social channels. Because if you're not doing these things, it's costing you what? It's costing you money every day. See, I will tell you this, that you know what? When you start to think about sales and marketing, they go together. So we spend a lot of time in our class, bring all your marketing stuff. Get your sales pitch down, practice your pitch. Let's hear it. Because if you don't got it down, if you're not converting, then it's time to what? Time to be open for some fresh adjustments. And if you guys are open to fresh ideas and fresh adjustments, you'll love the program. Because when we help you guys do it, I want you to write this down and get more leads. Launch a new business, grow the one you have, focus on getting qualified leads. They're surveyed, they've watched the video, they're interested. And if they're not, you don't talk to them. Does that make sense? Because when you start to understand that part of the business, you also have to have something called exposure. What I've figured this out is that you can speak about, you can bring about. Does that make sense? So when I started to think about exposure and owning communication, the exposure side has to be, we've got a good plan. I believe in where I'm going. I know our offer is that good, right? All of these things. I think that, can you check the battery in that thing? Maybe just push that charger again. That charger might have went out. Just push that little button, the charger, so it recharges. Get to the top there. It'd be going dead. I don't know. That's probably what it is. Probably flashing out of gear. Let me try to, I'll turn this on. It's okay. Let me see if I can get this one on. I'll make this one the spotlight, not to worry. Let's see. There you go. You guys can probably still hear me online, yes? I'll leave it a little bit closer for you guys so you can see. Look at that, see? Right back at it. Okay. Can you guys hear me okay there too? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, good. So understand as you start to go down this path, begin to ask yourself, what are you going to do that's different? What are you going to do today that's different than we did in the last 5 or 10 years? In the last 6 months? I promise you within 2 quarters, the entire business landscape could change, yes or no? Now, if I'd have said that 3 years, you'd be like, no, it probably takes a year or 2 for the landscape to change. Well, I can tell you that. 2020, the landscape changed within record time, yes or no? And we all witnessed that. So it's not what happens, write this down, it's not what happens in the marketplace, it's what you do when stuff happens. It's how we react to what happens. So it's also critically important that if you're listening today, you got to work on your public speaking, everybody. You got to work on getting your message out there one-to-one, one-to-many, one-to-thousands. Begin to use these videos. Begin to leverage all the tool sets. You want to speak to millionaires? A website called Vistage. How do you open the door to millionaires every week? How do you get yourself in front of millionaires on a regular basis? PMIs, Rotaries, chambers, ethnic clubs, civic groups, law groups, chiropractic groups, magazine groups, constructors and contractors, developers. How do you get yourself in front of the right buyers on a weekly basis? Well, I'll tell you what, you learn to be a more effective public speaker. We train public speakers. One of our days of our whole program is how to get your talk down to a science, how to give a TED talk, how to get booked for TED Talks, how to really understand and get that 2-minute talk, the 5-minute talk, the 10-minute talk down to a science. If you've ever dreamed of getting paid to speak, we'll teach you that as well. Because you're going to find when you do research, the number one pay in the whole world, believe it or not, is for public speaking, for the time that you spend doing it. So if you got a message, you've got a story, write this down. My story is too big to play small. My story is too big to play small. And the minute you commit to that, yes, people will think you're crazy. I don't care if they think you're crazy. By a show of hands, if you're listening here online or live, or at Google, right? How many of you guys believe that you should be paid for your story? How many of you guys believe you have a story to tell? How many of you guys believe that people need to hear your story? So when do you think would be a good time to get trained on that? Do you understand that part of our course is that I'm going to teach you for a full day, 4 times a year, how to be more effective public speaker, how to create your own digital offer, how to get out to the marketplace and run webinars, run telesummits, run Zooms like you're on today, right? But if you don't believe in that, if you're not willing to take the risk on that, then don't bitch. Because understand that somebody else is out there, they'll take that risk. They'll bet $5,000 on their own success. Got to do a payment plan? Fine, ask for a payment plan. Think about today, you are 4 people that need to be in the program with you. Does that make sense? How many people in here know 4 people that could use to elevate their success? You bring 4 people with you, they each paid their $12.50, you get the whole program for free. So stop telling me what you have or don't have. Does that make sense? If you're resourceful enough in life, you'll find more solutions than you will settling for problems. When you start thinking about this, when it really comes to public speaking and getting the exposure out there, I would highly recommend that you launch a channel on YouTube. I would recommend you launch a channel on Twitch. Don't know what Twitch is? Look it up. The 4th most visited website in the world. You can launch your free TV station today on Twitch, and it costs you $0. In addition to that, believe it or not, you can set up your own network today. You look it up, we're on a network today, right, called StreamYard. We broadcast on 10 different social media channels all at the same time. You can take our Zoom, set up your StreamYard, and broadcast anything that's streamed out there to all your channels. And why wouldn't you do that? Become an affiliate for other people's stuff. Learn to be an affiliate. Learn to get other people exposure. Learn to share other people's networks, other people's stories. The more you share their story, believe it or not, the more they'll come back and talk about you. But if you just expect other people to promote for you and you do nothing, you're in fantasy land. Yeah, come promote my products. Well, why don't you get off your ass and promote your own products? People don't want to hear that. Why don't you go rent the Javits Center? Why don't you go run your own StreamYards? Because you're waiting for someone else to do these things. You can't wait. We do not have a day to wait. Does that make sense? Exposure starts now. Exposure starts today. While you're thinking about it, someone else is already doing it. While you're dreaming about it, someone else already executed. They're getting paid. They're getting paid on the same information that you can probably share even more, even better, because your story is that much stronger. I've coached guys like Les Brown, Mark Victor Hansen, Brian Tracy, a lot of these guys how to convert better from the stage, right? And I'll tell you this for a fact. These are just some of the greatest communicators of our time. They understand this. But now I'm going to train you. You're going to come spend, like I said, 4 days at a time, 4 times a year, plus be a part of 2 big internet marketing days. On those 2 days, you'll learn about joint ventures, internet marketing. You learn about getting influencers. See, if you want exposure, don't do it by yourself. Get people to run with you. Get people that are serious about sharing your story, sharing your vision. And this doesn't mean, hey, can you market my products? No, you learn a process to create value first. Expect nothing in return. Open those doors. So you still say, well, I'm thinking about it. Well, go to rainmakersummit.com, lock in your ticket for a whole year. If it was 50 grand, it's a great deal. If all you got was access to our network for the year, it's worth more than 50 grand for entrepreneurs that have a great process, a good story, or a good offer. You get all this for 5 grand. And of course, when you start to think about this, right, is that you can use Eventbrite, you can use meetups, you can use all these tool sets, and we're just scratching the surface here today. Wait till you come hang out with us for a few days. I will tell you this, that it is one of the most challenging programs you'll ever take if you're an entrepreneur. But that's what you want. You don't want it to be easy. You don't want it to be a cakewalk. You want to be able to learn and challenge yourself way outside your comfort zone. And we built all this stuff once again because I do believe that when you start to really think about getting the exposure, teaming up with other people, getting influence behind your brand, the last one of the most important components of winning as an entrepreneur, write this down, is building a legacy. Write down building a legacy. You think it's about success, it's not. People think about success, they find failure. People think about building a legacy. Do you actually have a 500-year plan? If you thought about what digital products you're going to launch in the next 12 months, that'll be here 500 years from today. Have you actually taken the time to think about what digital products are you going to launch this year? Your book, your tips, your concepts, your ideas, your travel stories. I don't care what it is. Have you actually thought to launch your own digital products that'll still be around 500 years from today? And if you haven't done that, you're not cheating yourself. You're not even cheating just your family. You're cheating the whole world. Because there are people out there that would love to hear your message, love to hear your story. But you got to make the decision. You got to make the decision that your short-term things that aren't that important, right, are nowhere near as important as your long-term big vision and goals. And that's where legacy kicks in. When you start to focus on perfection, that's great, but learn to settle for excellence. Learn to focus on legacy, but settle for massive success. Learn to focus on social impact. Did you actually make a difference while you're here? Can you point to me today charities that you've helped at a board level or groups you've helped at a marketing or time level, not just writing a check, that you made a difference in other people's lives? And if not, today's a good day to get started with that. Today's a good day to make that part of your what? Of your regular daily method of operation. Because we're going to help you build a powerful daily method of operation. You're going to learn to build something called a CEO scoreboard, a team scoreboard. They're called KPIs. I call them scoreboard. So you can measure success every day. You're going to build a success plan. We're going to give you a whole booklet, a whole separate booklet besides the workbook in class that makes you map out the next year of your life. You're going to map the entire next 12 months. You're going to put in your family, faith, and fun things first. You're going to put in your social impact stuff. You're going to put in your events you have to be at, the concerts you're going to, who you're going with, when you're going. You're going to put how many customers you're going to serve. How many customers you're going to serve this week, this month. We're going to teach you to stop focusing on just the money. I want you to make lots of money. I want you to be super rich. I believe that everyone has the opportunity to be super rich. If you look at the super rich today, if you look back 50 years, no one even knew their name. Many of the super rich that are out there today. And super rich is not always money. I know you think I'm saying, I have all this money. No, super rich could be that you have, like Dr. Gavin said, you got your health. You got family around you. You got kids that love you and you love them. You've been able to really spend time with quality people in your life and do some amazing things. Because I'll tell you today, when you're starting out, everybody, just write this down. It's better to have stamps in your passport than cars in your garage. Hire a limo, get a driver part-time. Take more trips, bring your message to the world, but don't wait. And don't let anybody else value, your reach. Don't let someone else value your time. You value your own time. Because if you don't value your own time, you'll give it away for free. And if people don't want to pay you for your time, then just make no time for them, because you know what? It means they don't respect who you are anyway. One thing you'll find about Rainmaker, when you start to build legacy, you're going to build a movie of your life. You're going to work on that why. How big is your why? Because you're going to find, whether you like it or not, that why is going to drive you. That why is where you find the inspiration. That why is where you find the passion. People tell me I don't have a why, so then you haven't had a deep enough conversation with yourself yet. Does that make sense? You better go find some things that move you. Because if you don't find things that move you, you're not going to make it as an entrepreneur. You'll come up with reasons to quit. And when the reasons to quit outweigh the reasons to win, you'll find a reason to get out of the game. And you'll blame something. It was the economy's fault. It was this fault. It was that fault. No, it was your fault. You want to take ownership today? Look in the mirror. You want to build a legacy? Look in the mirror. What I am today is I'm simply a reflection. That's all I am for you, right? I'm a reflection of what it takes to win. I'm a reflection of what it takes to get to never be lazy again, to be inspired by what you do. And when you're inspired, yes, I know, people think you're crazy. It's okay if people think you're crazy. If they think you're crazy, you're probably on the right path. If your family thinks you're nuts, you're probably the ones I love, because I know you'll put the work into it. Does that make sense? What it really comes down to is if this makes sense to you, then take action. I always like to give away crazy gifts. Who's ever seen a movie called The Secret? You ever seen that? I wrote a best-selling book called The Obvious. You guys have probably seen this online. Maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't. Who here today would like a copy of my book? I only have one copy. You would like it. Here you go. Come on, get it. There you go. There you go. So often we got to show up. So if you'd like a copy online, it's real simple. Just text the word win. You guys can all get my book today. Just text the word win to 26786. Take out your phone. Text the word win right now to 26786. You'll get our book. You'll get our newsletter. You'll get one person will get a ticket for our big event coming up. Not sure why this marketing keeps coming up, but it does, right? Obviously, Caesars wants me to buy some of their stuff. But for you guys, if you're listening today, right, I'm looking for the action takers. I told our team we'll take 3 or 4 people on the stream, and a couple of the guys are here today, is that take action. Be ready to win that game of business. Be serious about going after this thing. Hey, John, can you grab some of the Rainmaker apps there and the red forms, the red brochures that explain the Rainmaker? If you guys are online, it's simple. Go right to rainmakersummit.com, order yourself a ticket. You and I are going to have a personal call. We're going to talk about where you're going with your goals and your dreams and what help you need. And if you liked what I talked about today and you're open to having a very challenging coach, you're going to love this. If you don't like the challenge, you're not going to make it. Does that make sense? You're not going to make it on this team. I'm not a nice coach. I'm not your feel-good person. I am certainly a tough business coach that's here to help you guys navigate the crazy world of business. And if you know you can use some help with that, then you fill the form out. You get online, do the form. You're here today, fill the form out, get yourself set up. There should be the red brochure that explains the Rainmaker too, John. Should be some of the red ones in the room that explains everything. Just pass a few of those out too. That'd be great. And other than that, Donna, I'll take some questions.
Okay.
I hope you guys got a lot of intel in that last 40 minutes. Hope it was helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to take a question or two. Or if you guys got any questions. If you guys got any questions about business growth, public speaking, venture funding, that outlines everything that comes in the course. And John, there should be the black half, the half page ones, the 6x9s. I'm going to give you guys a sheet that shows everything that's included. And I think that you could probably do the same thing here. I don't know if I can share the screen to get to that page, but if you've got a picture of that, Donnie, you can probably share it. If not, everything's on the website. Let me just see if I can find a page to share that here. Hang on a second, you guys. Maybe I can, maybe I can't.
And what page do you want?
No, I'm just looking for the black sheet that shows all the perks that comes with the program. That's all. It's too hard to find sometimes. They seem to try and do this stuff. It's easier if you can just get right to the page. That's okay. Any questions you guys have here? You guys can ask any question you want, so don't be shy. If you want to come, that form fills it all out, gives you all the perks, flights, hotel, country club membership. Same with you guys online. You do the same things. Go to rainmakersummit.com. Everything's on the rainmakersummit.com page. But any of that stuff that you think might be a good fit, it's all right there for you guys. Let me just see if I can remove this pin and make this smaller for a second, just so you guys can see this. I don't want to leave the meeting, that's for sure. I can remove the spotlight, remove the pin. Oh, look how nice it is. How's everyone doing? I see all those amazing faces out there. Good to have you guys on the stream today. I see a lot of pictures. I see Alex Shapiro on there. I know some of Kathy's here. Kathy's rocking it out in Southern California. She's amazing. Daniel Bray said, welcome. Good to have you on. I see all these rock stars listening here today. Good stuff, you guys. Thanks for being on today. See if I can go back to the other screen. Any questions you guys have? Any questions online at all? I see Eric Hoyce there. Jonathan, welcome, guys. These guys are bosses on the West Coast. Thank you. Sam, thanks for being here today. I see some of the live videos on there. If you guys have the forms, start filling the form out. Get yourself your tickets for Vegas. Let me see if I can. Did you find the black cards, John? Yeah, just give those out to everybody. Make sure they get a black card really quick. The black card lays out all the dates for the next year, gives you all the apps. And don't forget, any of our speakers today you want to connect with, you can obviously get some of the opt-ins from Donna. She can maybe go back and post Dr. Lee's stuff. If you didn't get a chance to work with Albert, get plugged in. Ben with ERC. There's a number of great opportunities. All you have to do is just get plugged in. And the thing is, if you got questions, there's no dumb questions. You guys can ask any question you want. I see a couple spotlight the video. Good. Other questions you guys have? You guys have questions here? Donna, I'm going to turn it back to you.
Okay.
You guys can finish up on your end, right?
Okay, perfect.
I'm a Rainmaker. Thanks, Eric. I'm a Rainmaker. Best from best one ever. Thank you so much.
Yes. And I have the black card pulled up. It's just not letting me share my screen here today. So
let me remove the spotlight. Let me see if I can just share.
I tried that. Yes. So
you just hold it up. That's all. Just hold it up.
It's digital on my computer.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not sure why you can't. You're the host, so if you can't do it, then nobody can do it.
Right. It's so, but I can definitely copy it over and maybe share it in the chat.
All right, listen, we're going to let you guys finish up for today. This has been great. I'm going to turn it back over to Donna. She'll finish up with some following notes if you guys have questions here. And don't forget, if you got questions online, get with Donna, opt in. If you got questions for me, if you filled the form out online already, just send Donna your number and we'll schedule a private call with you and I. I appreciate you guys for plugging in. Have an awesome day. Thanks again. I look forward to seeing the upcoming Rainmaker. Thanks, everybody. Don, I'll send over to you to close it up.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Awesome. So thank you, Bill, for sharing all of that valuable information here with all of us. I'm going to tell you, Rainmaker was one of the best things that I have ever attended. It's like getting your business MBA. And with all of it, And so I know I see your message here privately to me, Chanita. So I'm going to just drop my phone number here into that back to you. Go ahead and message me here at this number, and I will share that information there with you. So if anybody else has any questions or anything, definitely I can answer any of those for you. And if you wanted to get connected to Rainmaker and the Rainmaker Summit, the next course is coming up in Las Vegas in December. And it's going to be an amazing, fun event because it kicks off with Rainmaker. And then on the third day of Rainmaker, we all get to go to the VIP party that Max or that Bill hosts. I'll just put my phone number here in the chat for everyone. You can just private message me here on this, and I will get with each and every single one of you and answer those questions there as far as how it works with signing up for Rainmaker. And then after Rainmaker, we get to go to the VIP party, and then we have the Ultimate Wealth Camp, which is a 2-day speaker icon or a 2-day social media marketing event. So all of the marketing, all the sales stuff that he talked about comes through Ultimate Wealth Camp. And then the bonus day is speaker icon. So you guys get all of that. You also get you for one person and your airfare, hotel to come to Las Vegas. You get to bring 4 people with you, so you can definitely charge them to attend also. And if you did it for $12.50 each, you get the entire course for free. I don't think there is a better deal out there on this planet. So go ahead. Any other questions or anything outside of connecting me with my phone number here to share? And if you go ahead and just message me right now, I'll make sure that it pops up on my phone. And then I will message you right back and make sure that I get that payment information to you guys. All right. Yes, and thank you for joining us, Chanita, there. Okay. Any other questions? All right. If not, we're going to go ahead and jump off here. I want to thank everybody for attending. One last time, just go to rainmakersummit.com on the website, and it has all of the information there and every single bonus that Bill talked about. Even though it may not be listed there on the website, it is definitely he's going to be offering all of those to you guys, so you guys get all of that as well. So thank you. You guys are truly amazing, and we will see you here coming up in December. So thank you.